Greetings, everyone. Good time zone to you. Welcome. We're going to do a ranked draft of Theros Beyond Death here today. We had a nice run yesterday. In fact, yeah, there's my 6-2 at the bottom of the screen that I'll adjust here. We did go 7-2 after a 2-2 start yesterday, so that felt fun and awesome to come back from the brink to close out for max wins. We're going to try again today. We've had some mixed results in the last stretch, but clearly we're taking our shots. I felt good about our play yesterday overall. I think there were some spots where I clearly messed up, but overall played some pretty clean matches, saw some lines that I was happy that I caught, and generally had a great time with chat. It was a good chatting day and a good results day, and it was awesome. And before we jump in today, though, I'm going to thank my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. They are also awesome. They are purveyors of all the physical magic gear you need for your tabletop experience, whether it's supplies, sealed product, or singles. Their shipping is incredible. Their customer service is incredible. Their buy list is mega incredible. I've submitted some buy lists to Card Kingdom that I haven't filled. I got to fill and take them today. It's on my list. I'm going to have to. I got to watch out if I don't get my buy order into them before a certain deadline. It lapses and they assume that it's not coming. So I gotta, my to-do list. Anyway, we are going to be jumping in here, and I want to thank Card Kingdom. If you want to check them out via my panels below, that really helps my stream. If you've never visited them before from my panel, for example, maybe you've been lurking and you hear me say this sometimes, but really helps if you just, even for the first time especially, click on that panel. Go see Card Kingdom from my site and from my stream, and then it helps this stream grow, and I can hit those goals and be here with you a year from now. That's what I would like. I would like to be here with you a year from now, and hopefully Card Kingdom and I will be together too at that point. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Let's jump in. Check out those first three. What a nice trio of cards. This is rare, but largely it's a flash flyer, flash 4/5 flyer for 5, which is great. Double blue, but at 5 mana, double blue is not even that oppressive. Double blue is oppressive at 2 mana, but not really at 5. But Drag to the Underworld, powerful, straight up removal. Destiny Spinner, one of my favorite uncommons for green. This card does so much, and it feels like a rare that maybe it's not as efficient as it could be. Like the activated ability could be cheaper or something if they wanted to make it a rare, but I think this is an incredibly powerful card, and really just hosing counterspells is surprisingly useful in the format. I think those are the only 3 considerations, and really it's not even Spinner. It's just, do you value absolute premium removal, or do you value an absolute premium finisher / threat? And of course it has gems. Like if you are on a gem budget, you don't think twice about this, you just grab Thrix. This is a close call, so if you're gem cautious, or if you really are free to play and up against your gems, you're going to want to lean towards the gem picks. We are not up against our gem count, so we can do whatever we want in terms of pursuing our win percentage. And I'm going to pull this one and see whether people are into Thrix or just drag. Wheeling matters a little bit. So does cutting. Like Brine Giant and Starlit Mantle aren't great blue cards, so we are likely able to cut blue pretty effectively, but the same is true for black. We see that the bots don't particularly care about these 2 cards. So one nice thing, it doesn't really help you decide because they both have this capacity, but both of these cards have the capacity to lead to some color cutting that would be very effective on arena bots. You can't believe I had to pull that, Alucardio? I think, I think it's important to pull it because I think 25-6 is probably wrong. Why drag versus Thrix, Craig? Because you're going to end up with a bunch of creatures. Now, this is a great one, and it's very good at finishing. But I mean, I think the rare mana symbol can really mess people up a little bit. Like, let's say, well, let me put it this way. Let's say this was pack pick 2, or let's say the rare was garbage, and this set had what's the 4/4 the Sarah Angel at the air elemental. This is not. Here's my point. Thrix, the Sudden Storm, is not that much better than air elemental. It's not that much. To me, this is air elemental plus. It's got an extra point of toughness, and you can flash it in. So you can maybe get somebody with it, right? Well, you call this removal. Come on, Alucardio, be intellectual honest about this discussion. Thrix, in the right circumstance, can be removal, but are you ever think of how many spots where you have 5 mana and this guy in your hand, and where you're not going to just cast it, right? Like it has to work out that they happen to be attacking with something you want to ambush on the turn you would be playing this anyway, because you're not going to wait. You're going to run this out anyway. Again, yeah, this is air elemental plus. This is, while oppressive in its casting cost, basically the best black removal spell outside of rare in the set. So yeah, Craig, it is. But that's why this was not, like, somebody, Alucardi was suggesting basically you had to pull that? Like, what? Well, yeah, I think you do. You pull air elemental plus versus the most premium removal in the set. Yeah, you pull that. Maybe it's not arguably among the best removals in the set versus a big flyer, right? So I'll go ahead and take Thrix because they are close, but to suggest that this was not worth polling or not close, if you're thinking this is not close, I think you need to reassess exactly how good a generic big flyer is and exactly how important premium removal is. Anyway, either one are defensible. So especially around here where we support gem picks, no problem. Now this becomes interesting. Witness of Tomorrow helps us cut the blue, if we really wanted to cut the blue, but another 5-drop flyer, maybe not exactly what we want, although, look at that, Thrix actually does make this one cheaper. However, Mire's Grasp, how do we pass Mire's Grasp? I don't think we do. And surely if we had decided to take the black card, we'd snap the Mire's Grasp. We're going to take it anyway, but interesting that we immediately got some more removal. Well, this stinks because nothing in here matches our 2 picks so far that we care about. We're best of 1, Sweet Oblivion. I'm on the edge. I had a black-blue deck, best of 1, that was really grindy, and I had this, and I was popping it in and out of the main deck. I really don't know if I'm supposed to main deck Sweet Oblivion in a best of 1 control deck. But, boy, this is a pretty garbage pack. I think we want to take Hero of the Pride or Hero of the Nyxborn or one of these 2 green cards, or maybe even Heroes of the Revel. Something to hedge. I don't think we're not going to take Seaguard or Oblivion, so it's Caryatid Hero or one of the heroes. There's actually 3 heroes. What do we think? What's most likely? If we got Caryatid, we could set ourselves up to splash, and ramping to a Thrix would make it even better. But yeah, I think this is probably like just the best card taking color requirements into account. This is probably the best card, but it's gold. Given that it's a spec, though, GRS just wants to spec on the gold hero because it's like, well, if we abandon these because this is wide open, we'll be happy, and that's fair. But I think I'd rather still spec towards a single color card of white hero or Caryatid, and I'm just going to grab the Caryatid. Now we can get tempted by this Eutropia, and we have Thrix and Caryatid and Eutropia. That's interesting. This Omen is all right. This Omen is fine as well, but I'm noticing not much black since we got a Mire's Grasp passed to us, but nothing in the last 2 packs since. So I'm going to just grab, we did hedge towards this, and there's no good black here. We could just take Omen as a generically good blue card, but this is powerful enough that I think we should take Eutropia. And now we've got this spider. This may be the most kind of the most disparate, the most wide reviews I've heard of a card in the set so far have been this Arachnir. I'm going to take it, but some people do not like that Arachnid. I'm a fan. Naiad is on color if we are blue-green, and is also an enchantment creature for like Eutropia. Siona, hard to build around, and we're not super close to her action right now, so we're just going to take Naiad. Yeah, I'm very high on it, Buckeye. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with most. Can you tell me what's wrong with this card, please? Can somebody who's not high on this card tell me why they're not high on it? I don't know. We can pivot back towards possible black here, and it is quite possible. Random 2 versus generic 5, though. I don't know. We could even take Mirror Shield on spec, but are you running Plummet's main deck? I guess we do have Eutropia, so maybe there's an argument for Plummet on the skeet shooting aspect, because remember, Eutropia can target your opponent's creatures, so you can go make your best dude fly and dead. Well, what are your expectations of the front half, fool? Yeah, people seem to call out the fact that the front half is, quote, weak as the reason the spider is not good, but the front half is perfect in the sense that it is 1 mana, so it's a 1-drop that you can play. It's a 1 mana 1/2 that's playable, and then you can't not, like, if you're gonna attack with something that doesn't just have straight up unblockability, you're gonna save life. And here maybe this, I can convince you this way, or convince anybody who's doubting this card. Think of it this way: what if it said 1 mana 1/2? Whenever an opponent attacks, you may gain 4 life and draw a 3 green 4/5 ETB, fight a flyer, a punch a flyer, right? Like, if that's what it said, I mean, that's effectively what it does to me. Says to me, it's like you pay 1 mana, and if they ever attack, you gain some life and you draw a sweet 5-drop. Right? I mean, what's wrong with that? When an opponent attacks, gain life and draw an awesome 5-drop. Yeah, I'm painting it with my perspective, and of course you can call out the downsides and the costs of escape or whatever, but I'm trying to frame it in a way that at least shows what I love about it. Anyway, back to this pick. I hear the Plummet Eutropia combo, but since we don't know exactly where we're going to be yet, I am going to grab a generic 2-drop. If we end up back in black, we'll be happy to have a random 2 that we can play without embarrassment. Deny the Divine is fine. Familiar could go into anything, but I think we do kind of want to reach towards the green-blue. Maybe we splash for black. We won't splash for a Piper if we splash for black. We wouldn't splash for a Berserker either, so I am going to take Deny. I think we want to be leaning towards blue, not black here. Although we did wheel both of the other black cards in this pack. We were talking about Thrix versus Drag, and then I pointed out that the other black and blue spells in the pack were likely to wheel. There was one other blue spell that apparently didn't wheel, but nice to see all this black around. We could take Lampad, but again, I think we just want Mantle. This is a pretty good sign that we could end up regretting not going into black because none of this was taken. But I still think our deck is looking better as a green-blue affair than anything with black as a main color right now. Yeah, and Mantle's fine, right? It does some stuff. And it does some stuff in a Eutropia deck especially. And this is what I was talking to chat about this yesterday. If there's a color that you wanted to say, from a bot standpoint, I'm going to lean / force blah, it would be red right now. The bots really don't care about red. And if you just sat down and said, no matter what, I don't know what I'm going to pair with it, but I'm red something today, you're going to be okay. I think you'll end up with a fine set of 23 because, or 24, because the bots don't seem that interested. We could take Skirmisher. Is there any chance we end up in red? Is this enough of a sign that we should take it? Because we could take an Impending Doom. Smock thinks Skirmisher is not good, but underrated. It can be both of those things. I hear you. And that's what I was going to say, Smock. Like, this card stinks, but 2 power for 2 mana and no drawback is just a thing that decks need sometimes. So we either take a Skirmisher on the chance that we need to slot in some 2s. And again, if we're not black, we're right now down to Caryatid and Spiders are only 2s. It's only pack 1 though. So, and because it's only pack 1, you like Oracle best of these? Yeah, we could take an Oracle. I think I'm going to take Impending Doom. It's an uncommon. And it's possible we could end up splashing it if we end up with a lot of 5-color fixing and want to do big auras. This was another pick where this was the only blue stuff left, so that's good to see. No blue was arbitrarily taken out of this. We'll take the enchantment creature over the card. I'm not sure I want to play best of 1. Yeah, red is certainly open. We're going to end up with enough red playables just because of the only color left at the end of the pack. My goodness. Intervention. Well, we're going to grab this. We are in blue. We want to be in blue. This is a fine blue rare. I was saying I like this design. It has a classic play pattern for blue decks is, well, hold up a counter spell in case you want to counter something, but also hold up instant speed card draw in case they don't counter something, and intervention puts it on the same card, which is cool. What are we passing? Nothing in green. Jeez. Garbage green pack. In fact, we haven't really gotten much green past this trio, and we got shoved a lot of red. So we're going to take intervention, but I am not married to green. The green has not been flowing, and the red has been slapping us in the face. I don't love blue-red either, but frankly, if the bots are just going to be like, look, blue-red, then it is what it is. But here's another Eutropia. We got a Nightmare too. This is one of my favorite uncommons in the set in terms of its impact on your games. Resolving this, especially on the draw on turn 3, is whew, very good. But yeah, probably just have to we don't gotta take the Nightmare. I mean, we don't have much black. I don't want to. I mean, we could try and splash that too or whatever, but I think my question is, are we blue-red or blue-green, and not are we black? So I think the question is actually Eutropia. Although we can splash, yeah, I'm just gonna take Eutropia. Let's do it. Oracle, interesting. Playable gems indeed. Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do to build around that more specifically, but also figure out where we're really at here. We're not. Here's a red card. We just take a Thirst here, though. Do we get that one? No, we didn't. You like Singer over Thirst? Reasonable. Well, here are the bots continuing to tell us that red is wide. And Annex is interesting, but it's the heavy red component makes me not want to go Annex. I liked Thirst over Singer. Yeah, Singer's fine. Thirst, when we're trying to get to Sudden Storm and double Eutropia and potentially even just win via Oracle. So I loved the idea of library searching, you know, digging deep into the library. We might be. Yeah, I'm going to take Blessing here. I think we might be blue-green splashing red, though. Splashing red for, like, Impending Doom and Blessing. Like, here's where I think we're at right now. I'm even going to leave the Myers Grasp in because we could end up with 5-color style fixing, more Caryatids. So we could do a double splash. Here, though, we're just going to help the splash with an Omen versus Riptide Turtle. Grove Dancer or Deny. I'm going to go with the cheap 2-drop. Another Mantle, but if we take an Omen here, we've kind of locked up our splash in the sense that we have Caryatid, Omen, and then we're pretty free to take more good red that comes by. Yeah, Deny is interesting. We do have a Deny already, though, the Deny Thirst combo. Well, I don't think it's easy, Krauser. I think it is Omen, but Starlit Mantle is quite good. If we didn't have one, I think it would be a little tougher than it is, but I'm with you that since we already have a Mantle, we should just grab Omen. Another Plummet. Yeah, Sweet Oblivion does get more appealing with Thassa's Oracle. This is a legit win con now. Yeah, Wave Rider hopefully doesn't make our deck, but it might. Here's another Deny we could grab, but there's also a 3-drop creature we could play. Do we need some of those? No, we're gonna try Eutropia. Yeah, we'll just take a Deny. Yeah, Omen is doing a lot more for this deck than an altar. We're gonna try and not play any altars, even though they do the double splash thing. More realistically, here's where we're at. And Oracle is pretty cool late. Kraken. Yeah, Kraken helps dig for the stuff we're looking for. Yeah, I guess we'll take it. We'll see if we play it. It's not an important play. I also don't think this is a Wings deck. Our inevitability is ultimately Thassa's Oracle and the Sweet Oblivion we can play. So I'm going to take a field for Vault Progress. Revelers, not worth a splash. Eat to Extinction. Nothing much. We keep getting ripped in our... Look at this. Well, here's our main colors, and here's our splash color. What a weird looking pack. Look at this. It's all black and white cards. So, given that, I guess I take a Caryatid. I mean, are we playing Eat? We could bring back... We could take Eat and then actually consider whether we want to splash black or red. Because, I mean, actually taking Eat and splashing Eat and Myers Grasp seems better than splashing Impending Doom and Blessing. And we'll probably wheel this. Nah, I mean, Krauser, I bet we wheel the Caryatid. Maybe not. There's only one green card in the pack, but we're fine on fixing. Like, we have Caryatid and 2 Omens. I'm taking the Eat. Take Eat and we'll figure it out. Well, now maybe it's 4-color goodness. Here's the Singer. People wanted me to take over the Thirst. There's also Warbriar Blessing, if we just want to stick to the main plan, which makes some sense here. This is interesting, but not... I mean, it's just kind of arbitrarily power. Well, Harv, I'm betting here that we can either wheel the we're going to wheel that Caryatid or find another one. I didn't want to take it first. I'm going to pull this one, though, because I think this is pretty interesting. There's a lot going on here. We have Warbriar. We have War, which is... So, Warbriar is for the Blessing. War is for the Akroan War. Anything else you would consider here? I don't think... I mean, I'll put Singer in. I guess Singer is the only other consideration. And basically, if you're taking a Akroan War, you're either suggesting that we lean back towards Temur or possibly look at 4 or 5 color, 4 color probably. We'll skip the white. But with 2 Omens, a Caryatid, and likely, I hope to wheel a second or find. There's also this Amulet that may wheel. Oh yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have done 2. I tried to explain it, but with 2 wars, I just should have done a Crowan or a Blessing or something like that. I think it's very close, but this is a little more exciting. Going for a 4 color experiment seems a little more exciting. So yeah, we don't have big green creatures yet, but you always find this always does work, even if it doesn't do amazing work. But I'm in for trying out some 4 color nonsense. To that end, we can take a Fishify or a Renata. I guess we just take Renata. You generally need the creatures in this format, even though this triggers a lot of stuff. But I'm taking Renata. That's kind of been my leaning towards creatures. Of course, we get another Renata, but so be it. But this makes me want to take Acolyte and firm up our plan to splash 2. Do you want Acolyte or a second Renata? Who's this Omen that might wheel? I'm taking the Acolyte. I think it's business. Renata's great, but we have one and she's a legend, so I figured I'll diversify. Mystic Repeal, probably the pick here. Let's just take some answers. Although we have, we do have some removal going on. 1-4 says Buckeye. Let's take a look at our curve as we decide that. I think we're probably not playing Impending Doom in this deck, but Blessing and War. And if we feel like we have the inevitability, that's fine. Wardens is fine. We do have some inherent creature-based flying defense already, though, in the Spider. And Repeal helps get, survive through an opponent's most annoying enchantment. So, you say Warden buys us a lot of time. I think Repeal buys us some time, too. And we don't have this effect yet. If we already had a disenchant effect and we did not have a creature-based flyer blocker, then I would consider the Warden. Or I would take the Warden. But I think the fact that we have Chainweb, our own flyers, or at least our own flyer here, and good removal makes me want to take something for the enchantments. I'm taking Repeal. Here's another Omen. Are we playing 3 Omens? Are we playing a Hydra's Growth? If you want to slam Hydra's Growth, I never slam Hydra's Growth because Hydra's Growth is, in its best case, an inherently risky card. So I just never feel like I'm slamming it excitedly. I'm reluctantly considering the risk. That's what I do. Isn't Omen better than Caryatid? Oh, no. I mean, you can make your argument. Here's my argument. Caryatid is 2 mana. How much is Omen? 3. I like. And also, let's see. Yeah, this accelerates from 3 to 5, which is not nearly as good as accelerating from, as you can see, 2 to 4. I mean, check out this 4. That being said, we're not taking like a cheap red creature. Get that trample outlet? Oh, you mean... I don't know about reliability. My argument was on cost. And another argument for Caryatid in a double splash, though, is that Caryatid can splash for 2 different colors ongoing, and Omen, you got to choose your splash. I'm going to take, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think we run a 3rd Omen. I just don't think we run although, if we're going to double splash, we might. I don't really like the Eidolon, but I really don't like the Hydra's growth. Ugh, this is all gross. Yeah, alter is a reasonable, so whoever's saying, calling out that we're splashing 2 colors is a reason for alter. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, if we're going to do the double splash, we would rather have an alter at this point than a 3rd Omen for sure. Hydra's growth on a big boy makes a bigger boy, so that sounds like win more to me. Hydra's growth on a small thing sounds interesting because you turn the small thing into realistic, a big thing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of, sorry, this is I'm taking a long time on this pick, but there's a lot of weird competing polls for, and I just, this is a time traveling supercomputer moment. I'm really curious which one of these truly increases our win percentage. So maybe I'll pull it, but also I don't think this pack matters all that much. This probably whatever we take here, we end up cutting. So I'm not going to overthink it anymore. I'm going to give ourselves the alter play because we already have card draw too. I don't think the Eidolon does enough. Here we have a return to nature, that plummet plan, or a second spider. Since we passed the first spider, we could grab a second. I like that. I think if we're trying to buy time till make it to the end game, a couple of spiders is going to do well for us. And again, if we hadn't picked up the repeal, I think I would take return because I do want one of these effects in the deck. But I like second spider given that we have a repeal. Denial, solid. I like Denial a little better than Deny the Divine since it gets everything and not just enchantments and creatures. But we could also just take a Riptide Turtle to solidify that early defense. This isn't really a 2-drop. This isn't really a 2-drop. This isn't really a 2-drop. And once you start doing that, you realize, oh man, we're actually leaning pretty heavily on these spiders. And this makes me want a turtle. Yeah. We have, this is a slight upgrade to this, but this is a thing we still actually need. Nothing good for us here. We're not playing any white and not playing this Omen, but we'll throw it in the board, ostensibly considering it. I've already cut the 1 Doom we've got. Let's just take the Amulet to support the splash. And the Wardens came back anyway, so we've got plenty of flying defense. And the Omen came back. This was the pack where I took what, the altar, so we can choose. All right, well, I don't love this deck, but it's got some stuff going on. We can win some games. The magic gods are kind. And we paid 5,000 gold, no gems, and we just ground for 80. Our vault is filled up there. We'll take care of that in a little bit. All right, so definitely doing a double splash because that's fun. And we're cutting one omen, probably. Well, we're going to add back like the altar or the omen, and we can discuss this as a team when we get there. I do think we want this like win conditions. We've got this little combo, but do we need the combo? Can we just run this? Our plan is to be controlling until something like Thrix actually gets there, something like a Crowan War actually just wrecks their entire board, or GRS, settle down, please. Going optimal to top left for an Antuco. Sorry, Mama, Holly goes away. Oh, well, to me it's top left, kind of. Shut up.
All right, everyone, chill.
So let's see, I gotta even look on screen. It's Popeye. This one. There you go. All right, let's build a deck. We're going to be cutting land. Let's see, go to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That would be 16 plus an amulet there. Rich and Vandal. Okay, I'm behind apparently. I've done Rich already, so I'll start you. Well, we'll see. I think I fixed Vandal, right? Let's see. Does it still work?
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
And Tron's on Mirage Lands. Okay, we'll get that. All right, now. Let's look at our numbers as well. 16, 13. That's what I figured, that we're going to have to find a lot of non-creature cuts here. But we do have, like, some creature... Like, I don't... Triton just doesn't feel like it's doing what the deck wants to do. Mana cost, absolutely. Because if you get one land and an amulet in your opener, you can legit think of it as two lands. But if you get one land and an omen in your opener, you can't legit think of that as two lands, right? No, I don't want to go to 15. I know we have a lot of fixing, but you can really get yourself into trouble if you try to shave too much on your lands just because you have land searching and fixing. Always good to ask. So anyway, back to this. Well, maybe we do need to cut some more creatures than I normally want to. Hey, Mama's son, welcome. You want? Oh yeah, cutting a deny is a good idea. I like that. Where does that leave us? 14, 12. Can we live without the Sweet Oblivion? Can we live without... Well, we like a Starlit Mantle. Oblivion doesn't actually do the combo with Eutropia, you know? So I want to keep Eutropia combos in. We're pretty light on actually triggering Eutropia. Maybe that does mean we got to bring back in Omen over Altar. And yeah, I think you're right. I'm enamored with the idea of trying to get to Thassa through here, but we just don't have the room, do we? We're gonna have to let that dream go. We could let repeal go. We could be really grown up and just cut one of the two splashes. I think I still want to run the Oracle. I just don't want to run the combo. And I kind of do want a 2 double splash. So maybe we'll just be extra creature light. 13 is okay. Although this triggers Eutropia. Maybe there's a creature that's just okay. Like maybe we can cut a Nexus Warden since we have the double spider, or we cut a spider. What do you think? I think we cut Warden or spider. So I want to see what you think on that one. This is, let's see, what we're cutting. Since we're in cutting mode, I want to know what you want to cut. Are we cutting spider number 2 or Warden? But I think it should be one of those. Or you can say neither. If you really think that all 3 of our flying defenses should stay in, you can indicate with a neither. But I really think we should drop one of the 2 spiders or the Wardens. My inclination remains the Wardens. I just think the spider is great. And even though escape gets worse in multiples, we don't have a ton of it. Like, it's the only escape we have. So I don't mind increasing our chances of drawing at least one of them. I don't think we're going to go to 12 or fewer. We're at 14, and I'm looking to cut one of them. The life gain is somewhat real, yes, but, man. Middle row, far right. Well, Holly's back in the in her prime spot, so I don't think you need to worry about Holly. You can do whatever you want, Fluffy. You can come up with an alternate. But somewhere, Mama has a warm fuzzy and doesn't know why, and it's because you were looking out for her, so that's kind of you. Deny was a suggested cut. Yeah, we could cut a deny. Cut both of our counters and use this as our counter. And then, do I listen to chat or myself? All right, fine. I'll start by listening to chat, but we may come in and mix it up. I'm going to ask myself, if we draw this Nexus Wardens, if I wouldn't rather have a Arachnid instead. We'll see. And now you guys work on the name of this deck while I get Mirage Lands in for Tron. Yeah, what made me go for the splashes this time around? Card quality and somewhat of a playful desire to give it a try. You know, this might not. I'm saying this might be greedy, and we might have better EV even in this deck building if we like just cut the red and like just focused on Sultai, for example. But I thought, oh, did they vote for Warden out? Okay, that's cool. That's right. It was just barely Warden out, right? Yeah, tell you what, Grim, if we start 0-2, like if we go quick 0-2 or whatever, or if we hit 2 losses and it seems like our greed is hurting us, maybe I'll come in and cut the red. I'm doing this for science. Well, are we self-milling? How are we... Sometimes oppos will mill us, but even if that case, we do have the carried it out. Oh, I'm with you, Grim. I think the black, if we were going to splash just one of these, we'd go with Eat, Acolyte, and Grasp over War and Blessing. Even though War might be the single most powerful, the trio of black is very appealing. But I want to get on with it here. We've been going forever. Let's see, what was there? Color Storm. Four. Sure, we'll call it Color Storm. I don't love it, but it's better than anything I came up with. So you win. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Anybody got sleeves or deck boxes? Somebody gave me some tool. I'm looking into how I can better manage my purchases here, so this I don't have to do this. But I just talked about that. D. It was just feeling like wanting to give it a try for science and fun. I think probably correct is just dropping down to splashing just the black, but these are some powerful cards. I don't want to use a rainbow name unless we're all 5 colors. But I'm gonna just nobody answered on deck sleeves or box. If I missed out on your sleeves or box choice, let me know and I'll update after this game. But I want to get on it. Oh, somebody redeemed sleeves then. Well, find a forest, and maybe I should have actually reduced the island count. Maybe we should be 9. I went 8-6 on Forest Island, but maybe it should be 9-5 since all of our splash is green based. Because then, yeah. But do we have any land gives us an intervention? But intervention on 1 is not good. Kruzica likes this, says his hand is great. I mean, this hand can be great. Obviously, if we draw a forest, it's great. We have some time to draw a forest, so and then this is great. This is great if we get some mana. I'm going to do a greedy keep. I mean, this is a greedy deck to begin with. Might as well make a greedy keep. Speaking of greed, well, let's confuse them. No, I'm going to play a second island in case somehow it is relevant to get islands and forests out for the sequencing. I'm never punished, but it doesn't have to be on top. It just means there's a forest on top now. Hey, Timmy. See?
There are some who call me Tim.
One turn late, but we'll take it. If they Myers Grasp, we have a Thassa's Intervention play, so even that's not the endest of the world. But here we'll go ahead and take Renata while we can, in case they do kill Caryatid. Let's get our double green out. Deny? Denied. I was never not going to play my spells. I could have led with the Sea Guard, though, I suppose, to try and bait that out, but I don't know. Then you're just giving up. If they don't have it, you're giving up on counters on your Sea Guard, and obviously a 3/6 is just so much better. Shimmerwing, well, I was just going to bless the heck out of that Chimera, but we could... Oh, no, we can't just bounce the Crowan War. That doesn't work. I was thinking we could gain control of the Chimera and then bounce the war, but then... I mean, we can sit here doing it forever, but that is not amazing. So 5 mana, I guess. The other thing is I don't like blessing the Chimera. I'd rather bless something like the Sea Guard. So I'm gonna just eat. We could leave up intervention. Yeah, we can steal and we can steal and start bounce, but we don't keep this forever. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sea Guard. I'm going with Sea Guard because I want to bless the Sea Guard next turn and take out the Chimera. And it's no big deal right now because there's no value on board. Oppo is not going to get value out of the Chimera next upkeep. So we have a turn. And this way I can put the blessing on a real creature if we want to do that. All right, we got a plan here, or this decides what I'm gonna do. So my sequencing plan here is to bless the Sea Guard to kill the Witness. Next turn, a Crowan War, steal the Chimera. We untap, bring back the blessing, and then we either just bless the Chimera itself or kill. Anyway, there's like basically I'm gonna kill the Witness now, and then we'll try and grab the Chimera and loop the blessing a couple times. And if we pull all that off, it should work. It should be pretty devastating, right? You want to steal the... Yeah, I mean, we could kill the Chimera and steal the Witness, but then we can't do the bouncing tricks. And since we're in the mode of trying out fun... maybe we should come up with a deck name that refers to fancy play syndrome. I know, but keeping the Witness... right, that's the thing. We don't keep the Witness forever. I'm doing it this way. I wanna steal this Chimera and bounce my blessing. And if you don't like it, well, I hope you stay and watch anyway. We can attack here. They've got no good blocks. Yeah, so Blessing says target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. So we can't kill the Chimera while it's on our side, but we can bounce on the last when we upkeep for chapter 3. We can return the blessing, do the war, and then this goes back to their side, and then we can get it then. So that's the idea there. Hope I didn't explain that very well, but. Bottom line is, if Chimera trigger and a Crowan War Chapter 3 trigger happen on our side at the same time, we can do things to get our blessing back in hand. Yeah, that's true, too. We can just attack with it and it'll self-die. So we don't even need to use the blessing on it. But the point is we can get the blessing back in hand one last time. Yeah, he's also got the Oppo has the Soul Reaper, so they may sacrifice anything we try to kill here or steal, which is fine. Let's make him do it. Let me read my rare. Chapter 3. Each tapped creature deals damage itself equal to its power. So these things don't kill. Nothing on Oppo's side kills itself except for the Chimera. But we want to send them in and get good blocks. Well, I'm going to cast it. Yeah, stealing Timmy's not the worst idea, huh? Because Chimera's gonna die. I like what Archangel is saying, because I think we steal Soul Reaper or Timmy as the things that actually, they don't die to a Crowan War and have really good impacts on Oppo's battlefield. And Chimera will die on its own to the war, so let's just let it die on its own. And right now, Chimera is not doing anything abusive anyway. Yeah, it was always known that they could Soul Reap in response, but that's fine with us. So a Crowan War saying force Oppo to kill its own creature is fine. Yeah, the plan was to bounce the Blessing, but we couldn't... Yeah, I don't know. I'm mixing up my plans, I guess. Sweet plays, Krauser says, but maybe I'm just being a little bit scattered in my plays. I haven't really settled on a line, and I'm shifting lines mid-play, which is super dangerous, folks. Honestly, and part of this is streaming, because people in chat give me good ideas, and it causes me to, like, shift my plans, but sometimes I'll shift my plans without properly assessing how it's disrupting the plan I came up with. So, yeah, we're getting a little fancy, but also a little scattered. Like I said, I gotta watch it here, because we're trying to be cute. And in the meantime, I'm at 7 life and cuting my way towards possible death if I'm not careful. Here we have... Yeah, we need blockers, so that makes me want Naiad. If we Naiad, then we can potentially even intervention on their turn, although not for much value, just a 1-mana counter spell. That's not going to do anything. So we stay back and try to eat the Soul Reaper. And we play Naiad and can block the Instructor. Yeah, it's still just the right thing to do, right? There's not much else we can do about it. Yeah, we could have Omened first, that's fair. But we'll be able to Omen on their turn anyway. Actually, if you Omen, the land doesn't come into the play untapped, so that wouldn't have worked. We needed to do it this way. No, I think we are right now on... we're on Chapter 2 right now. Until my next turn, which it is not yet, creatures attack if able. Well, no problem there, Harv, because the only things we can block don't die to the Crowan War trigger. But we do get to eat a couple of Eidolons. That's nice. Oppo choosing to bounce their Soul Reaper so that they don't have to send it. Although they could have replayed it here so they could get some value out of the Eidolon deaths. So happy to have a little Eidolon snack there. Doesn't matter if we still win the game though, right, Harv? Although that's super scary. We'll have to eat that to extinction. I don't know. Not thinking. Just because of the default heuristic of get all your stuff. Because I want to intimidate Oppo. They don't know we don't have other red cards. Yeah, let's eat. Do we want to eat Lampad or Soul Reaper? Lampad, if we leave alive, I think actually has more chance to kill us than Soul Reaper, so let's take out the Lampad. This has the chance to get a lot more cards, but Lampad is one creature, you know, they could draw, because we go for the eat here, they sack it, and then they're just one creature away from killing us, so it's pretty cleanly Lampad. And we are going to keep as aggro as we can. I guess there's no need to send the Naiad. They're going to block. So we'll just send Seaguard. Yeah, we can either Thassa for 2 to just draw 2, or we can Scry first. We'll see. See what we want to do. Probably Scry. With them showing us that especially, let's just Scry. Hey, that's what I'm talking about for a Scry. Let's start with old stormy weather here, and then Eutropia after. We could just offer the Caryatid to get it an extra damage, but that's not worth it yet. Something we can do eventually. Right now, we'll just stick with this attack. They might have card draw and not want to mess around. Like, if they have Thirst for Knowledge, they might want to have all their land in play. And, all right. Do we care about that to any extent? Not really. You got it. And we have intervention, so I was thinking about it, but we can ignore it. What's up, Otto? What am I tapping? Yeah, I suppose holding counter would be better than Eutropia. I went 1 turn shields down, though, and that's arguable, you know? They basically get a draw and a sack here to not lose the game, and we do present lethal this way. Yeah, that's true that we risk losing to Gary, but I did at least present lethal. So you gotta admit that giving him, you can say I gave him an out, but I also presented a 1-turn clock. A 1-turn clock while they were clearly top decking as well. Maybe there was cards I could draw that would, yeah, but now we're fully protected. Also, with no sweepers in black and blue, the most they could do with shields down is eliminate one of our creatures, and then we untap and we're fine anyway. Maybe 1 or 2, like they could do they could do a card draw spell and find a couple of 1-for-1 removals, but my point is that there's no sweepers in those colors. Yeah, Grey Merchant was the real fear, right? Do we play around Grey Merchant or do we present lethal? Because if we don't present lethal, we give him another turn to draw Merchant anyway, right? Of course, if we give him another turn and have the counter spell, it's better protected. So yeah, maybe holding up counter was still better there. Yeah, it was probably a little too close for comfort. I bet if we, I don't necessarily think I'm going to or anything. I got to move forward in life, but I bet if I watched that again, I'd find a lot of ways we could have closed that out better. No, we were presenting lethal. They had 10 life and we were showing 11. Oh yeah, thank you. I do want to fix that. Also, were there other if I missed deck box or sleeve stuff, let me know. Like whatever, I'll give you free rat sleeves. Oops, I'll try. Thank you for that sub, by the way. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we wanted to go down one island, up one forest, since all of our fixing is green. We have Caryatid and 2 omens. Well, Amulet's not green, but anyway, the point is Amulet, green or colorless. So Amulet, Caryatid, Omen represent 4 sources of blue. So our blue source is actually 9, even though we only have 5 native in the deck. Oh, hey, good game, Hyrule. We were debating a lot of my plays in that game, too. I think maybe both of us could have optimized our decisions in that one a little more. But I guess I raced you. You raced to the bottom a little faster than me or something, right? So, yeah, punts. It's a tough game, this game we play. This is imminently keepable. Grove Dancer into Thirst, discarding War at the very minimum is a sequence we have. We don't want to discard War to Thirst, but I'm just saying, we have an enchantment we can't cast that if we needed to, we could pitch to the Thirst to keep our action at the ready. I'm not splashing, you're splashing. There might actually be... No, I'm out of coffee. There's no more coffee upstairs. I just told myself a lie. Totally, Hyrule. You hit the... your heuristic betrayed you, right? You used a very good, sensible heuristic, but failing to turn off that heuristic at the right spots is one of the tougher things in the game, because you work so hard to build up good habits, specifically so that most of the time you do the right thing, and then your next level skill becomes knowing when to overcome your own habits. Sure is, fool. I need to put in an order with Sweet Maria's today. I'm almost out of beans. And I am today. So I was talking at the start of my stream about how my stream is doing and where I'm headed with it and what things I need to be doing better. And one of them is just reaching out to people more to seek sponsorships and whatnot. So I'm going to reach out to my favorite coffee vendor when I buy my coffee coming up and see if they want to sponsor me. Probably not, but you know what? It's definitely no if I don't ask. That's what I'm trying to learn. Ryan, life's default answer is no. You have to actually ask the question to get something other than the default answer. Yeah, that's basically their main business, is sweetmarias.com. I'm a home coffee roaster and a huge fan of sweetmarias.com, and I get all my stuff there and etc. Jolo, did my explanation of the land counts make sense? Like we even though we have 5 islands, we have 9 sources of blue in the deck. That's the key. Green beans keep for 2 to 3 years. That's the other awesome thing about it. I buy, if you buy in 20-pound increments, if you buy in 1-pound increments, Sweet Maria's is going to charge you, $7, $8 a pound. It's premium beans, though, premium beans. If you buy in quantities of like 20 pounds, you can get the cost down to about $5.50-ish, $5.50, $6 a pound for coffee that if your local boutique place roasted for you, they literally charge you $20+ a pound for. Oh, sorry, Jolo. I didn't understand that was the nature of your question. I get it now. Well, we have a... we could pitch one of our splash auras here. One of our splash... I think I'm going to ditch the grasp. We just don't have black yet, so I'm not going to do that. We have literally all of our black cards now. I know war doesn't kill anything, but it still sets up... I still like keeping this for its strong power later. We can at least like steal... At the very least, it's removal, right? At the very least, we pay 4 mana, target something, and they sack it to the Lampad. So, or they likely do anyway. So anyway, let's go island so that we can intervention. Sorry, Oppo, I'm playing super slow here. Let me try and pick up the pace a little bit. Dionysus, I use the Be More 1600 Plus, and that's about it. You just need the Be More and some containers for your coffee. Yeah, that's the other thing. If we steal Lampad, then they definitely do it, because we just sack it to itself if they do that. I'm going to leave Intervention up. We can take 1 point of damage to not play out the turtle to see what they do with their turn before we decide to turtle. I'm not going to intervene for that, though. We will just drop turtle. Hey, Foil, how you doing? We're getting a little wacky here. We are playing a 4-color deck. Now we could have Crowan War and with the mountain actually have something to pump and kill the Lampads with. So I'm going to do that. Let's go. I'm going to steal the Oracle. It does enough here. We'll go through a war sequence here and try to mess with their resources through the Crowan War. And then we follow up with intervention, and hopefully we find our black source and get these online. We just have a lot going on in our hand, so I'm just trying to start with the war and chew up some of their stuff. Ideally, what we need is a creature that can eat a Lampad. If I target a Lampad, they just sack it to itself. If I target the Oracle, then I have something that I can pump to actually kill on Chapter 2. That was my thinking. No matter what, they're going to sack what we take. And they did. But yeah, I guess maybe I didn't think that through. Now that I process my own words, I'm somewhat at odds with myself again. It's just a hard game. Hard game. My thinking was, let's get some... here's my thinking. My thinking was, I don't have anything yet to block and kill Lampads with, so I should take something that does that. But of course, they sacrifice in response, and I still don't have anything to do it with. So, if I had taken a Lampad, then I get two out of it. So I think you are right. Still would have been better to take Lampad, although if we find something off the top that eats Lampads, then I'll be happy with where we're at. But we don't know where we're at on that. Blowy, that seems a little fancy play. You make coffee by the coffee roaster is like a giant toaster oven that tumbles a cage of beans around. It's as simple as that. Another thing this is doing that is not necessarily noticeable is that Oppo can't really play anything with higher power than toughness right now. It really just says you do nothing on that front for the next couple turns. Oh, brewing? Sorry, I thought you were talking about roasting. Brewing, I use, I've talked about that before. I use just a good grips coffee maker. I guess we're not going to be able to keep up a significant intervention or any kind of intervention for her. But she does, well, she doesn't even need a lamp pad. That's too bad. But it's the play we've got, so I'm going to do it. The only other play is to keep Thassa's intervention up, and I like sending out Renata here. That's true. Aardvark says we could have just dug for a swamp. I didn't. So far, the Akroan War is being a destroy target creature and really muck up an opponent's couple of turns. But it doesn't look like we're going to get amazing value out of it here. Other than we don't know what they have chosen not to cast because of their because of the Chapter 3 coming. No, I have a burr grinder that I got off Craigslist. It's like it's a commercial grade burr grinder that was probably 4 figures new, but it was like 15 years old and still awesome, but it was old enough that I got a screaming deal on it. Yeah, I guess they just get that. Not much we can do about it. The intervening doesn't do anything. So yeah, we don't even know what value we got out of the war because we don't know what their hand is. It's possible that the war. Oh, sorry. I already did block. I was thinking that meant I didn't block, but I did. We don't know what they didn't do because of the war. But pretty weak results as far as what that card is capable of. Omen gives us black finally, but we're just going to pass with everything up. Because we can play this at instant speed, we can play this at instant speed, this at instant speed, but I mean, we don't have black, but you hear what I mean. Our deck operates at instant speed right now. It definitely requires some setup, right? It can be amazing on certain boards, but sometimes, I mean, it still had this floor of kill a creature, so that's why I kept it, but it was definitely just like clunky removal there. And not amazing. But see, I mean, they waited on Ragehound for 3 chapters, so there's that. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That doesn't exile, right? Yeah, I don't want to just put that back in the graveyard when we have an 0-4. We can just block it all day long. But we go Omen now, and it doesn't bring it tapped. I don't know what you mean. I mean, it doesn't bring it in untapped. At least I don't think so. And we get to scry here. That's fine. With an X spell, you don't even mind lands that much, but we're still going to shove them to the bottom and look for something better. I think that qualifies. We can even play and protect her. So I'm going to play and protect Utopia, and then we'll untap and probably Acolyte to get some action back if we want, you know, Renata or something to trigger Utopia. But definitely going to hold up protection here. Yeah, we can get the war back. But again, the war isn't doing that much. Like, I could actually target a land pad this time, and that would be correct, but... We can counter that, but let's just repeal that. Or do we even care about that? I guess we don't care if we're going to... We could exile the Rage Hound after they target it. That's exile, right? Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. This means the Rage Hound doesn't come back. They waste the first chapter of Triumph, and then chapters 2 and 3 really don't do much on land pads. Yeah, that's true. They're sacrificing response. We don't actually get to exile it, but still. Don't get the exile, but I still like the play. And it seems good to me, but I still want to hold up the intervention. So, what are we getting? So many things. Renata's pretty good. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't. I got a little, but I was going to hold counter. That's the thing. We're holding a counter, so it doesn't, I don't think it matters this time. It's about what we want next turn. And a Crowan War, Renata, or Myers Grasp leap out at me as the only realistic choices. Yeah, Renata seems good. It improves all of our creature draws from here, and triggers Utopia to boot. So I like this. That's true. We are up against some potential game winners here, but we're at 9. I think we can do this. We're going to start turning the corner here and getting aggro, I think. And yeah, I want to protect Utopia, so we're going to do an X of 2, which doubles to 4, and Oppo can't pay it. Just had to make sure it actually countered. All right, they had another, but we do have Renata coming, so, and we have another Utopia somewhere in the deck, frankly, so all is not lost on that front, and we made him pay a real cost, and we found this dude, so coming up Millhouse regardless. Excuse me, I'm gonna tie my shoe. If they go for a favor or something and kill the turtle, we can be fine with that, given what we've got coming up. Thrix might just jump in front of this Rage Hound. Now let's see. This says target creature you control fights up to one target creature you don't control. Okay, well then in that case, I guess we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can't do Thrix and Blessing, but I think we can either just repeal the Triumph and prevent the fight, and then we can Thrix. Yeah, I'm just going to repeal the Triumph. I think that's the way to do it. Let's just stop the fight. The other thing to do is Bless, but what I want to do is get Thrix out. I understand that we had the Blessing play, but we couldn't do Blessing and Thrix, and I wanted Thrix this turn. If they want to kill the Acolyte, that's fine. I just didn't want to lose... oh no, that's right. They can't do it anyway, so... I am going to take the risk and block here. I figure if they have removal, they already would have used it on Renata. It's possible that they have a pump spell that can't just reach out and kill Renata, that if we block with, leads to that. We can just block endlessly with the turtle as well. Maybe I don't care. I mean, yeah, we can... I played this because I intended to block, but we could just sit here and chump and bounce with the turtle. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to risk Manticore. It's not worth it, folks. Like, I think it's almost certain that the Thrix would be an okay block here, but we just don't need to do it. Let's put them to the test and make them answer this spell with a card in their hand. And there you go. We got to keep our Thrix. Good patience, team. Good patience. Never mind. We don't get to keep our Thrix. Suck it, team. Suck it. Boy. I guess we have to. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bless one of the Lampads with this Acolyte, and then we'll start racing. Interesting, they're attacking with a Lampad. I don't understand that at all, unless this card explains it somehow. I guess it's not blocking, so it's attacking. Oh no, it makes sense. Sorry, now I understand it. I was thinking they could double block here, but we can't. So it's actually good attack from Oppo. I take it back, and we will do that. Yep, it's a clean attack. I messed it up in my initial assessment of it. All right, we found our Eutropia again. We're out of auras for enchantments for it, but it's a start. And at least blocks the Lampad, so now we have Turtle on Hound and Eutropia on Lampad. But Flyer's a big deal. We don't really have anything for the Flyer right now, so we're going to lose in 4 swings to that. Really in 2 swings, assuming they find another creature and can sack 4 creatures to the Lampad. So I had been feeling good, but after removal for Renata and our big Flyer, I'm now not feeling great. Yeah, I should have sent the Caryatid too. My bad. Sir Elgar is right. we happily trade the Caryatid off for that Harpy, and I didn't offer. We'll see if that matters. They should be at 16 right now. We have a couple. We have another Omen, right? We have Starlit Mantle. Oh, we're out of Omens. So we have our only action left is Amulet, Arachnir, Mantle, Thassa's Oracle, Naiad of Hidden Coves, Nyxborn, and Nyxborn Seaguard. So we're pretty low. But the good news is, if we can find something to survive in the air, like what keeps us alive? We want the spider. Really, we just want the spider. Because if the spider comes and we can take out the Harpy and survive at 5, we can find, we maybe have enough time to Oracle our way to a win. Even that doesn't matter if we can find spider. But now, I think now we're dead. If they see it. Because they attack for 2 in the air, we can't stop it. We're at 3, and then they machine gun us down. I am going to hold the amulet though and make him see it. And I'm gonna just keep attacking in case like one of the things this might do is cause them to block. I mean, they have the win. We're just, if this were the Pro Tour and we were looking for any possibility of win, we should leave a card in hand and give them an opportunity to block and then make them do it. Oh, yeah. Suppose maybe if I leave this back, then they, Smock wanted to get rid of the Lampad. These things do close out a game towards the end. At the time I made that decision, I felt like we had a plan to get him, though, Smock. I mean, it's easy to say, like, it's... I hear you. I mean, I think you could have legitimately argued for that line at the time, but I think it's especially easy to say, we should have got rid of that Lampad when our opponent had removal for Renata into 5/6 flyer, right? Like, I had Renata in a 5/6 flyer coming or whatever. You don't think that you're going to need to worry about the Lampads, but they're powerful. They do close it out. Yeah, that may be the mistake. I mean, I even called that out, right, when I made it. Maybe the mistake of that match was not getting that first Lampad with the war. That would have helped. Certainly that was a winnable game. Certainly that's, you know, a lot of times you make mistakes and win anyway, and a lot of times you make mistakes in a game that you were going to lose anyway. It's interesting to find the games where, I always say, you know, you hear me say this on stream a lot, like, Ben Stark would have won that game, right? And I think that's true here. Sometimes we find where we are not as sharp as the best of the best. Oh, was that you, Whackin'? GG? We were just debating some of my choices. I don't know if you heard me say, I feel like if I let Ben Stark pilot that game there, you probably lose. I think I made some key mistakes along the way, but it was fun. Good game. And we're on the draw. We have Arachnir to start, and we have lots of outs to blue mana and fixing. But we don't have much to do besides the spider. I worry about going to 6 with the decks like this because then it gets harder to get your pieces. You can really train wreck yourself with mulligans in greedy decks because they don't mulligan well. This is not a deck that mulligans well, which is one of my considerations. I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to do a quick poll on this because I think our deck does not mulligan well, but this is not a good opening hand. But we are on the draw, so we do have time to find our pieces, and we do have a chain web right off the bat. So no matter what, we're not going to get completely run over because we have an immediate blocker. I'm really torn on this one. Chat pretty torn as well. Mama wants to. Do you keep because you're a chicken, or do you mole because you're a chicken? Though I don't even understand what is more courageous. I guess keeping is more courageous. Grim Reaper's like definitely mole. I'm gonna mole because all three of these are effectively mulligans anyway. Maybe if Thrix was playable on one land, I'd keep, but that just felt like too much. What? Okay, so that's how that works. Now, you know, what did we put on the bottom? What did the game decide? Oh, thanks. Thanks, game. I'm going to make a little note for some feedback. My feedback to Wizards here and to my friends on the design team, the rope system has taught me that while roping, if I start to make plays, it gives me more time and builds back up the clock. In this case, I started roping, made plays in terms of making a choice, but it didn't give me extra time. So I consider that a bug, because I feel like if I had done that in the middle of a normal game, it would have worked. Oh yeah, we took our sweet time, but if the clock on mulliganing functioned identically to the clock, the rope clock, that wouldn't have happened to me. Hey Muffin, thank you so much for the raid from Miss Muffin. Appreciate that. Welcome. For Muffin viewers who don't know me, my name is Ryan Spain, and I co-created Limited Resources with Marshall Sutcliffe, and now, after taking a break from that to work for Wizards for 7 years, I'm streaming. Yes. Well, what I feel, Alucardio, is that it should do what ropes do, which is give me a little more time as I make decisions while being roped. We'll go Eutropia here, and then we have all sorts of... We have Omen and Seaguard behind. I do not still work for WotC. Didn't find another blue, so we can't go Seaguard. The question is, do you want to get aggro, or do you want to try and jump the Eutropia and eat the Pegasus? Well, I'm going to... Trouble is, do we want, like, we jump the Pegasus, we jump Eutropia and try to eat the Pegasus. We're going for some risk there. I'll give ourselves the possibility. Maybe they tap out pre-combat. They might do something with the Pious Wayfarer to pump the Sun Main and make it so that we see that we don't want... Because that's the thing, they have... We think we're tricky with our Eutropia on the battlefield. I mean, they've got a Wayfarer on the battlefield, so this could not go our way if they find... I mean, they have 3 mana and could have omens of their own, basically, is what I'm saying. And if that, in that case, we lose that battle... Yeah, I've talked myself out of it, frankly. The White Omen and the Black Omen are both quite good, and if they have any... And also, there's other flash enchantments, there's flash defenses. So I do like going ahead and flying the turtle. I don't love putting +1/+1 counters on creatures that can't attack, but this isn't the worst. Nothing in hand. We have a slightly more black splash than red, so we're going to take a swamp. Yeah, I don't mind the turtle having a point of power. Then there you go, right? That's exactly like exactly what GPIC was just saying, basically. that not the worst to have 1 point of power on a turtle. Well, I'm not going to mess around. We're going to Renata then, but the question is, do we Renata and... I'm going to Renata and put the counter on Renata because Mire's Grasp is a common removal spell from Oppo's colors, and Mire's Grasp kills Eutropia even if we put a counter on her, but Mire's Grasp does not kill Renata if we put a counter on her. Maybe I should have considered double blue because we kind of need that, but I guess I didn't, right? Like, I don't care if we play this until later, and I really wanted to start enabling our splash. I love the idea. I love the Mystery Boosters design, the concept, the product design of Mystery Boosters. I think it's a very clever way to provide a Chaos Draft style experience, but actually better. It improves on Chaos Draft. My issue with Chaos Draft or Grab Bag Draft, where people randomly draft like 24 different sets together, is that all of the specific synergies in those sets are just so bad. Like, you just end up opening a pack and really seeing that like 5 of the cards in the pack are just unplayable in a Chaos Draft, and then you're picking from the other 10. I think that's kind of sad and makes me not like Chaos Draft. As clever as it can be to see past interactions and stuff, the sheer volume of dead cards in a Chaos Draft booster pack really turns me off of the format. Mystery Booster says Chaos Draft, but we're going to pre-cull all of those functionless synergies, and you're going to get actually 15 cards of playable considerations, but from all across Magic's timeline, and in such a huge quantity that you can't really... there's no... Yeah, it's pseudo cube, but it's not even cube, because like cube, it's even more diverse than cube. Right? Like, there's just so many cards that you can't really plan on anything, which is kind of the point. All right, back to this. What's going on here? Now maybe we have to give up on... It is, I think, time to get another island. I was really hoping we'd find a natural one, but we didn't. We can scry with the Omen before we play the other one, though. Or we play the other one then scry? I don't know. Yeah, we can attack with Renata. We can even attack with... we can attack with Eutropia, too, if we wanted to, right? But if we send Renata, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power. If they blocked with... they need 5 power to really make that not matter. I don't think they're going to block with everything. We'll see what they want to do here. Okay, that's great. Turtle Ambush could work. Eutropia Ambush could work. Again, if they haven't killed this stuff, they don't have removal, you know? And that's good to see them losing instant speed enchantments out of their hand. Well, if they blocked specifically with, like, Leonin and Pegasus, it wouldn't be the best, but it would still be acceptable. Still be an acceptable 2-for-1. Oppo trying to decide if they can risk an attack, I think. I certainly feel a lot better about doing block shenanigans if they don't play the Pious Wayfarer. Of course, something here gets indestructible. But if they send the other one, we can now eat it. So let's see what they want to attack with. All right, they're going for it, which means you get to eat something. That's cool. And yeah, I'm going to get an island here. Let's find stuff we can use right now. It's our Greedy Awesome 4-color deck. These aren't very exciting, but we do have a Renata, and that makes me pretty happy about keeping anything. And they're also both enchantments, so they both trigger Eutropia. So pretty easy keep for these two, and I'm going to go in this order. I think Naiad's a little better. I could have just done Seaguard, though. I think I got enamored with the fact that that was on top, but could have just played Seaguard. Doesn't really matter. I am going to go for... Boy, we could put Eutropia out of Myers' grasp range, but I'm just going to make Renata bigger and fly. Boone likes getting Eutropia out of grasp range. Yeah, maybe I should, but I'm going for aggro. We can at least omen if we want, although we know what's coming. It still might be worth omening to scry for 1, but probably not. Oh, Kalzad, thanks for that sub. Either my alert didn't play or I was so engrossed I missed it, but I appreciate that. Yeah, next turn we do get to Seaguard plus Grove Dancer, allowing us to protect Eutropia against the Myers Grasp while continuing to grow our Renata and Fly. We could grow and fly Naiad, but making a 7/6 flyer attacking... I mean, if Renata has clean ground attacks, we can do it, but I don't think she does right now with Rage Guard Berserker, so... yeah, Nightmare gets the turtle, but nothing else. And I can't do anything about that, right? Yeah, I have no instant speed, whatever. I could scry, but I'm going to save the scry for when it's more valuable. We know we're drawing a Grove Dancer and we're happy about that, so I'm just going to let it be. Yeah, agreed. Oppo is not being very aggressive with that Berserker. And we're going to leave... Although now we have a Seaguard that can block it too, so that's good. We don't have any other good attacks, so this is our only attack, but it's a good one. Yeah, Oracle win, possible. We're at 11 life, though. I'm a little more worried about staying alive than winning with the Oracle. I'm going to put an upkeep stop for this scry, though. Yep, Elgar and Zebra clicking in their heads as it did in mine, I guess. My rank on my main account. Well, this is my main account, so I guess right now I'm gold 1 or something. I don't really track rank very carefully, Downpour. If you're curious to know how I'm doing, this is a much better thing to look at for what my results are looking like than arbitrary rank. I play on multiple accounts and I don't always play ranked, so my rank is never a reflection of my actual rank, my actual skill at the game, so I track my own stuff. Especially when I'm trying to be transparent for a viewership that may be asking, well, how good is this guy? Why should I watch him? And I can say, well, this is how good I am, for better or for worse. Here it is. Yeah, these flyers are scary. We need some help on that front. We got a couple of flyer blockers in our deck somewhere. Where are they? Let's go looking. Hey, it's our spider. It's also our mountain. We don't need the mountain yet, but we're definitely, I think we keep the mountain. Yeah, spider's great. It's what we were looking for. Question is, do we keep the mountain? And I'm going to keep it. I mean, it's our splash other splash color. If we're going to do this multicolored nonsense, we should respect the needs of our deck. This is nice. We actually get, this enters as a 2/3 and eats Ephemia without even losing the spider. We don't mind losing the spider, but I also don't mind eating the flyer for free. Yeah, it doesn't fight. Sorry, it punches. It never would have died. That's a good point. 8/6. What does that do for us? They obviously would have to block with the 5/4. They'd also block with the 3/1 and or even just the 1/1. So yeah, they have Rage Scarred plus Throwaway. So we're not going to bother attacking here. Yeah, we lose our graveyard, but Spider's not in it at least. It does make Spider a little farther away from being cast, though, if that's what you mean. We do have Grove Dancer, though, that will help us fill it right back up again and potentially get us to Thassa level. I'm kind of in just sit back mode now. I don't have any pressing need. Creature count in what sense? I mean, in deck? In deck right now? I mean, I could play the Oracle, but yeah, maybe it's correct to just play it. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be 6. I don't know. Yeah, I think we just wait for enchantments here. Enchantments. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 enchantments plus an Acolyte of Affliction, which can find enchantments. And a Thirst for Meaning, which can find enchantments. And the Oracle we have. Yeah, if we could get rid of this hero, I would go searching. We need 2 enchantments for Renata to just clock them. Well, Acolyte can self-mill. I don't think I would necessarily risk it, but there you go. How about we just win? Or we try to. We don't know what this card in hand is, but ostensibly we win here with Blessing. Actually, let's bless on not Renata. Just make a huge wall. Blessing on Hero. And this on Renata. No, the spreadsheet is everything I play, D. Look at the columns. There's a column for account. If you want to know exactly how much we've ground on free-to-play, then you can copy the spreadsheet, filter to the non-free-to-play accounts, delete them, and then see the results or whatever. You can mess with the data however you want. But it's free-to-play and paid. It's all of my play on Arena since I started streaming, on or offline. All right, we picked up a second win. Badass Watson, I'm just good enough at Excel and spreadsheets to know how bad I am at Excel and spreadsheets. It's funny. People think I'm good at Excel and spreadsheets because they're so bad at Excel and spreadsheets, they don't know how bad I am at Excel and spreadsheets. But I'm just good enough to know that I'm bad. I rely on the kindness of strangers a lot. And friends, actually. I know some spreadsheet geniuses. Oh my goodness. Lee Sharp of Wizards of the Coast, Michael Gans, formerly of Wizards of the Coast. I watched those two build modeling spreadsheets for this game that would blow your weak little mind. Anyway, back to here. Weak little mind is just a Jimi Hendrix quote. I don't think any of you have weak little minds. Let's look at... we got a lot of green. We got 9 green sources, but we're on the play. I'm gonna mulligan this. All right, we can keep this. And I'm gonna send away the Grasp for now, since we can't cast it. Probably just Oracle on 2. Doesn't look like Oracle is gonna be our big win con here. And like, look at the top X, where X is your devotion to blue. Put one of them on top, the rest at the bottom. So we're gonna slightly increase our card quality, drop a 1/3. The reason I don't want to go Grove Dancer is because it's an enchantment creature. So if we go Eutropia into Grove Dancer, that's much better for us. But I'm also just not going to do nothing just because we really want to win the game with that or whatever. Let's scry and get on with this. Starlit Mantle is really appealing. I'm going to be greedy and take that. We already have our forest. Daxos, solid, but we're gonna drop Eutropia, and if she lives, should be in pretty good shape with what's behind in hand. Yeah, War Furnace, I'm with you. That Myers graph shouldn't be there. That's just a visual bug. I'm sure they know about it. It's just not a high priority because it doesn't mess people up too badly. I mean, one of their metrics is like what things are getting a lot of reimbursement requests and reports. So like, if a bug falls in some software but nobody's around to experience it, should it really be fixed? The answer is no. And of course, the answer here is it's not nobody, but it's not a lot of people. So, but yeah, they'll get to that eventually. Probably just low on their list. Paying for the greed a little bit here. Oppo has left up Deny mana, which is unfortunate, but we can still offer them a Grove Dancer, and if they want to deny that, not the worst. We can also just pass. We do have Thassa's Intervention, which is a passable counterspell in this spot. It's effectively a Quench. So we could pass with Quench up, or go ahead and offer them the Grove Dancer. We can also offer them the Spider, but deny Exiles, so Spider would be gone forever. I think with the mantle, I'm going to go ahead and offer them a Grove Dancer. Let's make sure they have something here. I bet they have Deny, but it's not the worst thing to get denied. Let's get that out of their hand. And hey, and then like this, if they don't have it, maybe we're in better shape than I thought. Build up Eutropia. It's white-blue, so their removal isn't damage-based. It's not going to matter how tough she is. It's what matters is what we want to attack with. So I'm actually going to put it on the Oracle and start building up, splitting our quality. So then if they get rid of our Eutropia, we improved something that got left behind. If we put all of our eggs on Eutropia and they go with Fishify wouldn't be bad with counters. But my point is I don't want to go all in on Eutropia when we're not up against toughness checking removal. And it was, in fact, a goal. Good call, whoever thought it might be that after they didn't counter our spell. The eyes have it. 4 eyes. Pick your dad joke. Well, drop a mountain, and I guess leave... Well, we can play a spider and block the goal with it. Yeah, I foresee trouble with this goal. But we can go Arachnir and still have an intervention up if we want it. And then Mantle... yeah, Mantle might just eat it. So let's give him a chance to... Heck, I mean, well, no, we can't attack. Well, they might block, but it telegraphs it. So I'm going to say no attack. And we'll see about mantling our way to a dead goal. It's a little nerve-wracking. They've got 5 open mana and 3 unknown cards. All right, that actually makes things worse because now they attack as a 4/5. As they attack as a 4/5, we have nothing that can grow to do 5 points of damage. So then we are deciding whether or not to counter this. I really wanted to draw extra value cards out of the intervention, but this really takes away our plan to deal with a Sarah Angel. So let's keep our plan to deal with a Sarah Angel intact. We can. Ooh, interesting, interesting. Okay, wait. Coolio has an idea. Oops, I'm gonna let it resolve. I'm gonna do Coolio's plan. Good call, Coolio. I didn't see it in time, but you did. They thought about not attacking, but I think they're right. Like, what do? You have to try. Good call, kids. Yeah, we can't play too scared. Just gotta try. This looks good as a main phaser here. We're gonna just set our main phaser on stun and set it to kill here. And keep working this Oracle. I guess the Oracle can attack through this now. Actually, the Oracle has a good ground block. So I'm going to start actually working on the Grove Dancer. We could get our splash mana, but we actually don't have a second green yet for that spider. We also don't have the graveyard fuel or even close to it for the spider. We do have a Grove Dancer, though. We'll get there eventually. Who knew that Chainweb was good? Particularly against blue-white, it's good. I think I played a viewer battle with old draft decks against like Tron or Brian or somebody, and they had a blue-white, great blue-white flyer deck. I had a whatever deck that had a Chainweb Arachneer that took over the game. Like, the whole game was just about the Chainweb Arachneer. It killed like 5 things that game. I don't know if Oppo's in the tank or is just kind of giving up. No, they're just in the tank. Okay. Deciding whether or not to race. Okay. Well, we certainly have something for the Arachneer now. But I'm going to wait, and we're going to... Well, actually, I'm going to draw cards right now. Well, should I do it? I'll wait. It's possible we counter something. Thing is, we might find like a swamp and want to play it. But I'll go ahead and look to counter / draw on their turn. Storyteller, what's that going to get? Glory Bearers, Daxos, or Sentinel's Eyes? And I don't care about that. This isn't a problem, and neither is anything they can get with it. Why do you want to counter it, Haj? Why do we care? Wouldn't we rather have 2 cards than to stop them from just doing this? Well, we can eat it to I'm gonna... Haj just wants to keep him off creatures. I don't know, Haj. Yeah, I'm gonna say that they can have this, Haj. I hear what you're saying, but I think we can resolve. I think we can overcome this. And we're going to make a 4/5 eventually, so we can still bounce. I mean, they could make a 5/6, and then, but we can eat that if we have to. I like where we're at. We could scry dig, but let's go ahead and intervene dig. Choose up to 2. We will take Renata, and there's that repeal. What does repeal get? Storyteller itself is not a creature, but if we keep the repeal, the upcoming creature they're drawing is. So this is just removal. We're going to keep the removal. We can still do what Haj wants and keep them off all creatures. Found an amulet to find our swamp as well. We have no blue cards, so I like the auto taps choice here. And no red cards, so I'm going to go find swamp. We could just eat this now. If we don't, we're going to take 4. Because we play Renata, we're not blocking. And we're not blocking off Affliction. So let's eat it to extinction. You want to get Renata. If we do Renata, though, we're taking 4 and going to 5. Are you comfortable with that? Blue-white doesn't have a lot of reach, but still. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and eat. We're gonna have some dinner. Could have waited and done it at instant speed because maybe they Sentinel's Eyes number 2 it. But all that really does is chew up their graveyard a little bit because they just have access to Sentinel's Eyes again afterwards. Okay, this is interesting. We can't double spell Renata into Acolyte, which would be nice, but we can double spell Renata into Mystic Repeal, which we'll do. And since the common counterspell does not counter a repeal, I'm going to go ahead and get greedy and try and do this on their turn because they very well may try to put Sentinel's Eyes on the Glory Bearers. Okay. New target for our Mystic Repeal. It's going to mean taking 3 here, but it's worth it, I think. Yeah, Mantle is a risk, but I think worrying about the Mantle they might have as opposed to planning around the Sentinel's Eyes we know they have made sense to me. We could obviously repeal the Fishify mid-combat, but then we just end up with a 2-3 we're not blocking with anyway, or a 3-3 we're not blocking with anyway, so I'm just going to take it, and then we can repeal before our turn. And I like Acolyte here. Let's see, what do we get no matter what? We do have Thassa's Oracle, Grove Dancer, Eutropia. Maybe Acolyte getting Eutropia? Yeah, I'm in for that. They do get Sentinel's Eyes into good attacks, so there is that. Like, maybe this is maybe I should have just done the Arachneer because it can actually block the Glory Bearers with some eyes going on. But I don't think we can block with Renata. I think we send Renata and then decide if we want to chump here. We could even chump with the Acolyte if we wanted, if they put the eyes on. Yeah, I think we just chump for this turn to survive. And then we chain web and start to crush. It also increases Renata's power to, it'll be 6 after we lose Acolyte and gain chain web. If we chump, would we rather double block? It's an interesting question. It's a little bit weird that we went and fetched Eutropia only to then use her to double block and die. But if that's what's correct, we could think about it. We don't have enchantments in hand, but we do have an Omen, and we can scry. But maybe the bottom line is Arachneer surviving. Yeah, I really didn't want to throw away, it feels weird to have drawn, it feels like Eutropia was a mistake then. Like, if we're taking this line, we could have done something else. To, maybe get Oracle and just have a 2-4 instead of a 3-3. That would be better, for example. But I think I will do this. right? Like if we had decided, hey, we're just going to double block the Glory Bearers once it puts on a pair of eyes. If we had decided that that was our line, we wouldn't have gotten Eutropia. We could have gotten back the Oracle. That's okay. They just traded. Look, there you go. Rewarded. We're not. Let's see. Can we do both? Oh gosh, we can even do both. No, it's a changed plan. This you gotta D. You gotta. You're just too eager for the for punts. I like Eutropia now. I don't like holding up Scry. We can just do an upkeep stop for the Scry. Let's see. Acolyte and Eat are already gone, and well, Myers Grass is shuffled in. Do we have double blue we're worried about? I guess that's the real question. We do have Thrix, so given that Thrix is in the deck, I'm going to tap black here. I think black is the least likely for us to find something we need. So, of course, this means Myers Grass is going to be on top. I still think it's correct. Thirst for Meaning is worth a keep. But we'll pitch that island. And now I'm going to main phase this. Yeah, maybe it was supposed to be Forest. I was just thinking we wanted two of our own color. I guess we go this and this. Well, not the best thirst ever, but it puts some more action in our yard for future arachnids. And I'll go ahead and run this. It's a 2/2. Increases Renata's power at least. Only 12 cards left. Maybe we should have been playing towards the old Oracle. This is good, though. 7/4 flyer flying into that Chimera. Sorry, 8/4. Forgot that we were adding a pip. Get another blue. Good scry away from quite an attack. They need something good here. Courser's all right. Not great, but it does add a lot of toughness to the ground. Yeah, Myers Grasp would be GG. Fishify would be GG, right? Don't we have a Fishify? Or am I forgetting it? Maybe we don't, and I'm just making that up. I think I'm making that up. I think we had a chance at it. Yeah, Blessing would be all right. A Crowan War does it too, right? Because we just steal their flyer and it's an enchantment. So this should do it. One more to the good. 3-1 feels like a nice start. Whoa! Dionysus has found a command to complement my play. Do I have coronavirus? What's going on? I don't know. I maybe I wasn't tuned into that particular hater. I didn't get that. I didn't hear that feedback. But deck is fine. Deck is fun and good. Has some risk to it, but it's all right. The deck is all right. Yeah, I've got the career path right now ready-made for streaming, or ready-made for hiding out during a viral outbreak. Naiad, not bad. I like that Oppo had a turn 2 Caryatid and only managed an attack for 1 on their 3rd turn. That's very important for us. Because, yeah, they're going to accelerate and get bigger stuff out. We can drop a Seaguard and we would threaten, make them have to threaten to sack it, but they probably would. So let's just drop Renata and then we can drop a 3/6 Seaguard, hopefully. $10-7 Paleo will be correct for you there if you don't have a lot to do with blue early. I would look at your 2 drops and to an extent your 3 drops, and if you have significant blue in your 2s and your 3s, you should still just go 9-8 and not 10-7. But then don't worry about, I don't even care what your results were. Like, what happened to you in one game is utterly irrelevant. The only question is, how's your early blue, and should you be 9-8 instead of 10-7? If your only blue is late, that's fine, but if you got early blue, I would go 9-8. Or if you got significant early blue. A little bit doesn't matter, you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. So, let's see, we got Seaguard, or we have Omen Mantle, but nothing really to do with Omen Mantle that's useful. Let's go ahead and drop the Seaguard. Obviously, we've got a big scary beastie here, but we're going to try and find red mana and steal it. That's plan A. But right now, 3/6 actually starts towards the road of actually double blocking it effectively. So this 3/6 actually a solid spell for us right now. Wouldn't mind our enchantment removal. Put this Colossus on the bottom of their library. And now I'm going to go ahead and say if you want to sacrifice 2 things to take out the Seaguard, go for it. We might be trading for a trick, that's fine too. We do kind of want the Seaguard to help with the Colossus problem, but we can't not attempt to bounce. The whole point of this card is to block stuff. think making a 3/6 was better than omening for red mana. Now we can Caryatid, Hold Up, Thirst, and Omen, and Mantle. I guess that makes sense. Still in trouble with this Colossus, though. We are up against it, everybody. And we're about to lose 2 spiders, too, sadly, to the binding. Miles, I don't think we had the numbers. No, it needs 4 others, and we only had 3. Maybe there was something I could do, but not. It would take mana. I guess we could have attacked, but they don't even have a thing that can kill our creatures on an attack. So yeah, I don't think so. We could mantle that. Is it worth it? It's what we're currently using to cast the Akroan War, but we do have Omen of the Hunt for that. I kind of don't mind that they're using the Omen this way. We could save it, but it's just like... Then we have a 3/3, a 2/3, and a 3/3. What do we do with that? Are we then triple blocking Colossus? I think we're definitely mostly dead if you want that action.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
But how can we be not dead? What's our best road to not dead? Saving this thing? Yeah, but it's not about the mana as much as that it's a legit creature. I guess I'll let it go. We have Mantle and Omen at least on this turn if we want it. So I think we just have to give up Renata. We're going to Omen. Oh, we might give up Naiad, so I want to cast this stuff while it's cheap now. Warfurnace wants to chump, get a mountain, Akroan War, the Colossus. It will... Akroan... Does it untap it? No, so this would stay tapped. We wouldn't have a blocker, so we would be facing the War Leader again. If we mantle, we can actually double block and kill the War Leader here and save one of our creatures. So I think we should do that. And then we still get to a Akroan War and take the Colossus. We're just not under 1 billion pounds of pressure. If it untapped, I wouldn't double block, but since it doesn't untap, we kind of need to double block here. Yeah, I suppose they could sack the binding. Do we even bother? I guess I'll make them. They can sack something to complete the X for 1, but let's make them sack something. Okay, well, we can Akroan War, but now that we have... Oh, we don't have the mana for it. Let's see. So then, yeah, we Akroan War. Should have... maybe could have put an upkeep stop, but this will... give us a couple of sweet attacks, but then we have a new problem. I guess we can eat it later. Put an upkeep scry here. Another war leader. I guess we have to eat that. And to that end, though, I'm going to scry looking for a swamp. Oh, we got it back with Saga. Sorry, sure. All right, all right, all right. We can work with this. We can work with this. We still need black, but I almost want to keep the Acolyte. Maybe we can't. We don't have a swamp in here already. Maybe we're not that greedy, but Thrix is nice, question mark. We'll certainly keep it. So yeah, I have to bottom the Acolyte, but we'll keep Thrix. And we'll Thirst at the end of their turn. If they find a creature, we're dead, though. It's true. Yeah. They figured it out. They were pretty likely to win there. They just needed a creature or an enchantment. Don't know if that meant there was something else we were supposed to do. Maybe I need. Actually, yeah. Maybe I was supposed to pitch both of them. And in fact, maybe if we had thought through that all they needed was a creature to get 5 points of menace, that we shouldn't have even necessarily upkeep scried. Unless we had a card we were looking for that was going to get us out of it. Yeah, maybe I'll do the. Maybe let's go grown up from here. Crow and War has been just okay. Whereas we could do like Nexus, Deny. One there, and we can even cut the amulet. That's 16. Do something like even a second swamp to protect against the milling situation, the milling potential. To be fair, and also when we started out, I said that I thought the better deck was probably 3-color, but that we were for science going to experiment with splashing the 4th. I don't want to bring in a 3rd Omen when we're just splashing 1 color, but the Kraken could do some work here. You want an Omen of the Dead? That's what you mean? I thought you were talking about third green Omen. Well, where are y'all at? Now I need to cut 2. Amulet is a land. If we want to run an amulet, we're cutting a land. If the amulet comes in, it's a land. But I don't think we need an amulet now. Now that we're only 3 colors, we can just go with Caryatid Omens. Man, I feel like I have. Do I debate this with you every time, Steven? Or I do not like. I feel like this is not necessarily you, Steven, but people who share similar attitudes as you act like there's no cost to running an amulet over a land, like it's somehow free almost. Like, why aren't you running an amulet? It's like it's great for escape card. Have you all tried to curve out with an amulet in your hand? It's clunky as F. This is clunky. really messes up your early turns if you have it in your opener, and I don't like it because of that. Oh, it's Jikerman. Jikerman constantly pestering me about how amazing this is with Escape. You know what's amazing? Playing an untapped land, casting a 1-drop, playing an untapped land, casting a 2-drop, and playing an untapped land and casting a 3-drop. That, my friend, is amazing. Anyway, back to adulting this deck a bit. Blessing was fine, but the splash was oppressive. It wasn't, I don't think it was helping us. You want to cut a green omen instead of a black omen? Cut the Caryatid. Defensive speed, every deck loves to be a curve out deck. Yes, some decks, my point is not that, I just, in general about the amulet, that's where I'm at with it. Caryatid and green omen, well now you're cutting our splash too much. I think I cut the Caryatid and that's okay. Yeah, we weren't. That's a great point, War Furnace. We were playing a Crowan War and not really being able to take advantage of Chapter 2. And frankly, so many of our opponents also were unfazed by Chapter 3 that it just way underperformed my expectations. And now we're back. Sorry, let's. We could still be 9, 6. We could still do it this way. 16 land plus. Well, we did cut 1. We do have 2 omens, though. And we're not going too high on... I can be a little bit greedy on the mana here. Yeah, all right. I'm going to try being a little greedy. Because we have 16 lands and 2 omens. We could go... Like, this is where you can make an argument for Amulet number 1 over Omen number 2. But we have 2 Eutropias. That's my deciding factor here, is that one of the reasons we're playing the Omens is that it works well with one of our more powerful cards. Oh, also, I haven't done this. Let's add this to decks. And we're 3 and 2 right now, is that right? I don't like cutting forests because they are the source of our fixing. Like, keeping our forests high turns omens into islands, if you know what I mean. This is an easy keep. Mantle is super like we have the one big flyer and we have our Eutropias and our Renatas. We have Renata, Eutropia, and big flyer. Basically a bunch of legends that we want to protect. Ooh, Eutropia is nice. I was gonna run Wardens out, and you know, Eutropia may get picked off by Oppo's black cards, but we have 2 copies of her, and we can get Omen going and must answer, right? So let's play the must answer creature and see if Oppo's got an answer. Could have attacked with a spider first. I don't think there's anything instant speed in these colors. Okay, well, there's that, but didn't matter. Double libation got us there, but as I said, we do have another copy of that card. Omen. We could thirst and look for a natural land draw and pitch an omen to it, so I'm going to do that. Well, we still got our natural land draws, so yeah, I'll drop an omen here and keep the fistful of lands we just drew. Nexus Wardens, sure. We could Omen so that we have access to Acolyte, but that's not super important. Although Acolyte does get us back Utopia, which Oppo was obviously worried about. So, but we can take a turn to do that. We are in a grindy situation here. I'm gonna Wardens first. No, I take it back, because we can go, let's see, if we Omen here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we put out a 6th land via Omen, we play a 7th land naturally, and then with 7 mana we can Acolyte and get Utopia back, so I am going to do that. Oppo with the prettier Omen than I have. Repeal. Not worth it for an Omen, obviously, but we can follow through on the play I was looking at here. Just make sure auto tap doesn't screw us. We can Acolyte, get back Utopia, and try and get back to business on that front. Yeah, we cut red. Cut red. Oh, we can get Renata instead. We can't cast Renata now if we take her. But then we get to cast Renata with Mantle up protecting her. I like that. Actually, changed my mind again. I do that. Oh, we also have another play here that's solid in the Wardens. I like this play a lot better, actually, because, yeah, the Renata plus Starlit Mantle protected Renata is great. And don't really care. They can do anything they want to either of these two creatures, and it's fine with us. Not really. I suppose we could have just held off and scryed instead of Wardensing to get the Renata counters on it. That's a good point. I just was focused on building out our board because we knew they had potential Ragehound coming, although this would be much better as a 2/5 against a Ragehound. So if I'm really thinking about Ragehounds, I probably would wait on the Wardens. But hopefully it won't cost us, and that a protected Renata will be strong for us here. Oh, that's interesting. Robert says, what about making the Death Toucher fly so that, and then get it with a chain web? Yeah, we could do that, and it is not a fight, so it would work. We'll consider that for sure, Robert. We were talking about main decking Plummets because we have Utopia, but we don't have Utopia in play right now, Robert. I forgot. We don't have the play that launches it, but if we do, that's a clever one. Maybe we'll find our other Eutropia. In which case, I am in for that action. Although, again, it may be fancy play. We have Starlit Mantle protecting Renata. Maybe that's just... maybe that's good enough. Horn Beetle. Yuck. But we hopefully wear them out of 4-power creatures here eventually. As Janie said, streaming is just being in one constant state of confusion. Intervention, you say? Sure. Got a lot of land to make good use of that. Got a spider that we probably need to make here. Making a 5/6 spider, no joke. And we get to... Although we go shields down on... Oh no, we would still have Starlit Mantle up as well, including... And even intervention. So... Let's go, except we don't even need, we can do it this way. Horn Beetle will get to 4/4 here, but then we eat a Rage Hound. Oh, okay. Well, we could intervene that. Let's see. They're going to get back Warden so that they have a permanent 4-power thing to work on this beetle. I suppose since it is not repealable, we can just counter the Warden rather than the Omen. Yeah, we didn't have enough mana anyway. We do here, though, and I am going to do it. Well, they got our Renata, but I still like our spot here. Yeah, they seem to be all in on libations, huh? Well, they're kind of getting punished for that now. Although in this case, they showed why it's a little bit better than the typical, because they were able to get Renata because it was our only enchantment. I did go shields down. If I'd waited, or did I have a mantle win? No, yeah, we went shields down by casting the counterspell, but we could have tried to play mantle in response. You know, we'll go Kraken here. We'll get Kraken. They do have enough in the yard to grow the beetle another turn. What? Mantle would have stopped libation because they chose sacrifice a creature. So they chose sacrifice an enchantment, and we could have sacrificed the mantle instead of the Renata in that case. Nothing worth repealing here, so we untap. All right, great draw. That's the way to turn a corner. And now maybe our new plan is protect Thrix. It's playable, and it gets better when you have other removal, but it's not good, and I don't even necessarily think Libation is above replacement. I think Libation is a little below replacement, but since often sacrifice effects are considered actively bad, I do think it's, you know, it could be considered underrated, even though it is not even above replacement level. It's just better than people give it credit for. Has it done the most work in situations where you had other removal to back it up with? That's where it's great. When you're keeping the opponent's board so clear that it takes out Colossuses and stuff. Yeah, nothing to do about that. Yeah, I've never seen a Libation get a Trawler, but if you have managed to bag a Trawler with a Libation, well done. So we're definitely blocking the 4-2. The question is, do we care about the Hierophant? Because we could block the Hierophant, just trade the Kraken off, and that's fine, right? We don't really care about this. But we're definitely blocking the 4-2. That's the no-brainer. The question is, are we blocking the Death Touch? We're at 19. We're about to drop a 4-5. We can race, right? A protected 4-5 flyer. So, yeah, I'll just take the 3. I suppose I should have put Kraken on the Rage Hound, though. Block it that way. Just make sure they don't have any tricks and we lose a creature we like. Although, of course, we can get it back. It's an escape creature. We could send Soul Reaper packing. That's a good point. I mean, we could do it now while its shields are down too. There might be a more important target, but maybe not. I mean, it's ultimately drawing them cards. Yeah, Spider is is an attack we could consider if you want to use the Starlit Mantle. I didn't attack with a Spider because I wasn't prepared to use the Starlit Mantle to have it win combat against the Beetle. And I will go, let's do it. Let's repeal the Mogus before they untap and can draw more cards. And then Mantle is going to just save our win condition. Well, that gets them a lot of stuff back, potentially. But they've sacked a lot of their stuff to get those hounds out. So maybe this will still be okay. Bleepus is interesting. They're probably going to go for the Bleepus, and we'll have to use our Starlit Mantle. But maybe we'll draw instant speed removal or do something where we can reduce their pip count. Although they only have 4. 4 is not enough. Yeah, they didn't even get it. If they'd had enough pips to take out the Thrix, I'm sure they would have gotten the Bleeper, but they didn't. So now they're going for trying to grow this Beetle and get the race that way, but I still think we're going to win through the air here. And with the Beetle becoming the upcoming problem and us being in a race situation developing here, I'm going to go ahead and trade off now. G-Pick would just take it, but I'm racing a 7/7 that's going to start abyssing us. And we kind of have the Abyss tools, but I'm just going to be cautious. that was me being cautious. Maybe the cautious thing to do is just have more fodder to block beetles with, but we were just going to let that through every turn for the foreseeable future, and it felt like we needed to finally just do something about it. Warden's gaining some life back is helping with this as well. Our clock is sound, and they need to find 2 pieces of removal for Thrix now. So we have a pretty overwhelming advantage, really, in that the clock is short, and we have their first removal already blanked. Interesting attack. I'm going to go with a Riptide Turtle. And how do we want to approach this? We can go 5. We can just throw everything on the Horn Beetle and try to trade with it. Or we can just try and eat the 4/4. Interesting attack. Makes me think they've got something going on here. But we can do this. This is pretty easy to say, look, I don't care too much about these 2 if you want to do something about that. And then chump turtle? Or is this giving, if we lose 2 chumps, are we going too far back? Yeah, because I don't, well, I guess if the spider dies, it's fine. We have enough in the yard to recast the spider. It will be smaller. But if, let's say it's aspect of Manticore, and they have, what, 6 points of first strike? Well, then it's just dead. So then we make them have that. And then maybe we actually... Yeah, no, this is fine. I like it like this. And why I'm chumping with a 0 instead of power is we may want to get enough power to actually try and kill something. So we'll do this, and now we don't care. 1's a chump, and if they... Yeah, so they're omening. We can decide maybe it's correct to save the spider, but I don't think so, because we just don't care. We just cast it again. So we let them have this. You got it. Tempting to just want to save your stuff when you can, but this is not a critical save situation. And there you go. So... they're just trying to make that small now. It's not like this kills it, but we'll go ahead and make it a 5/5 instead of a 1/3 or whatever. All right, Oppo had enough. That was their big plan, and we stopped it. Cool. Made it to 4 wins on a not fantastic deck. It's a cool deck, but it's not bonkers by any stretch, so lovely to get to 4 wins. A fine keep. Got a 2/3/5 and some disruption in the middle somewhere.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you, 30-pound knight. Are you excited for some RNA? I'll probably play some. We actually have a 1-turn play if we want to get the Envoy, and actually we're at the higher end of the win count. Envoy into things like Commanding Presence and other nasty auras is enough that I'm going to go ahead and 1-for-1 here. Oh look, it's an amulet, taking up my opponent's entire second turn instead of simply playing a land. Almost like that card has a real drawback to it. Our entire third turn. No counter spells, so we can threaten one of our own and drop the omen at the end of their turn. I play Amulet too. I just like to be very clear about its drawbacks. I feel like there's a lot of people that when Amulet comes up, don't acknowledge. They treat it like it's just straight up a land. All I want to do is acknowledge that it is not straight up a land and has significant drawbacks that must be considered when deciding to play it. We could use another island, of course, for Oracle, but we're going to get our splash color. Get it. And then we found our island anyway. Nice. Hey, Wizards of the Coast. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the host. And hello to the Wizards of the Coast hallways. We could do an upkeep scry, given that we have an Oracle to follow if we want. And we have a Myers Grasp to play. If they do something we want to grasp, then it's pretty easy to upkeep scry, but if not, we'll probably just draw naturally. I'm not exactly sure. I believe it's because, like, people don't... I don't know if there was somebody watching already, or... I don't know why. I don't know why it only shows one viewer, unless it was just the start of the day, but it's legit. We are on being hosted by Wizard, so thanks. I'm just going to draw naturally. And yeah, I mean, Kraken's not amazing, but I don't want to do nothing here, and we can even go Acolyte Oracle. I'm wondering if we shouldn't just, like, try and Oracle to win the game at some point, though. Maybe it's too early to be having that be plan A. I guess we start with Acolyte regardless. Let's bring Kraken back to hand. Get Spidey in the yard. And... what do you think? We got... Miles says wait on Oracle. We can play this right now. Provides technically an extra attacker. Provides a little bit of scry. But it can win us the game if this goes super long and we have a Shoal Kraken. I think I'll wait. But maybe this is being greedy. Maybe we should just think of this as a 1-3 with a little bit of card selection right now. Well, that's the thing, G-Pick. I guess I'm willing to wait until we see a reason that it's going to help us close that. It's not going to help us close out a game very fast. That's the thing, right? Like, it's not going to do anything to actually increase our clock. So we do have an Omen. That's true. We can play it. I forgot that we added the Omen. That's a great call, Jikerman. I totally forgot we put this Omen in the deck, and I was thinking this was our last way to get it back. So given that, we'll consider that. But I think for now, actually we can go Oracle, Myers Grasp, and I think that's actually fine here. Intangible says wait. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to Oracle and Myers Grasp and attack. And Intervention is good. Turtle, not good enough. Oh, so let's keep Intervention. and send away Turtle. They may have Blessing. They're showing like Blessing or something. Oh, it could be Will. I thought this was tapped. Somehow in the corner of my eye I thought it was tapped. If they want to put a Will on it, that's okay. Oh, Blessing is weird. A weird choice. Why did you do that, Oppo? I don't know, but I'll take it. Yeah, my read on... I didn't mention it earlier. I should have. It's hard to fit all the words in. But the reason I was expecting Blessing because last turn they had tapped out all except when we played some creature and they had one white up and it paused. So I knew they were on Blessing, but then suddenly I was afraid they were on Will as well. Yeah, a lot of people do that, honestly. Spider it anyway? Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, we can give up everything in the yard for this spider, I think. That's true, they're playing white. This is just bigger. That's why I went with it. This can attack into and through a spawn. I mean, they kind of want the spawn to die anyway, but Kraken can't attack. They might have a flyer, says somebody. Haj. Good call, Haj. Good thing is they don't have blocks. I mean, they don't have attacks, but they'll probably make some 2/2 flyers that will be really annoying. We could... They know about the Kraken. It does not grant hexproof. It can grant hexproof, but it does not just grant hexproof. But Tryptamine, your confusion is exactly why that play happens a bunch. Okay, sorry, back to this. I'm not sure what I want to do here. If we go on the offensive, we might even be able to thirst a response. Certainly sending the chain web. Well, if we go on the offensive, they go on the offensive back and they have got lifelink. I don't know how we beat lifelink. So nice thought to go on the offensive, but to what end? Nah. I'm going to Kraken now. Because we do have the Omen if something dies. Like if the Acolyte of Affliction dies, we can just Omen it back. That would be okay. Mm-hmm. How are we going to deal with that? Thanks, deck. I forgot we had this too. All right. Now, if they've got another blessing, this isn't going to work. So I wonder if we can do this in a way... Oh, man, we're 1 mana away from being able to do this through a blessing. Because we could counter the blessing. Let's pass priority and look for pauses here. Pause information is super important right now. It is GPIC if they show a pause. Okay, there was no pause, so then I don't think it's worth waiting. And I'll send in the Arachnir, knowing that we have the Eat at the ready. And I'll trade the Arachnir off for anything anyway. Yeah, they didn't want to fight it regardless. All right, so although that lack of pausing is what's making me want to do this. We'll keep that. I like little design things like this where this makes Pegasi and it gives them lifelink, but they don't have it inherently. So it's like, okay, they got a Pegasus, but at least we killed this thing and it lost its lifelink, you know? All right, well, we're going to give up what here? Obviously, I think Thassa is better than Thirst at this point. So we're going to keep Thassa over Thirst. We can ditch the Thirst. But then the question is Omen versus Thassa. Omen is useful in that it gets back, you know, we can start looping stuff back. But I think we just give up the Omen too, and we use Thassa to find additional action on the flip side. Play Omen and discard. Oh yeah, we could do that too, but that's the same thing as discarding the Omen, right? I mean, that's kind of fancy play discarding. Yeah, the information leak is not great, but here we are. That's fair. It wasn't fancy play. It would be a little bit better because you'd have a scry for later. That's fair. So, slight... If I was going to discard the Omen, should have just cast it. Although, did we have black up? I can't even remember now. Maybe I guess we did. I guess we did. Or did we? I can't remember now. Shoal, Kraken, are we... Oh yeah, of course we're taking the action, sorry. And we'll discard something worse than Thassa. And I'll offer the Arachnir because we have blocks on the way back that could take out the spawn. No, because Omen would have brought back a creature, and then we discard the creature we get back from the Omen, and then we have the same situation, but we have a scry on board. All right, well, they're just aspecting us pretty harshly, but we can still... I guess we now are in a spot where we are... I also didn't jump on the upkeep scry fast enough. All right, we're back to a stall, and we no longer have any ways to get Oracle back. We've, I believe, with Omen and of Acolyte, done all we can there. Yep. 22 to 18 on library health. I think we can all in soon, but not yet. Like, maybe even this turn, but I didn't like it last turn. Let's scry ourselves some support for a big all-in push here. Neither of these really do that, except they do get... They're creatures and they get bigger because of Renata, but is that enough here? What do you think? I mean, also, what else are we looking for? Like, we don't... What are we hunting for? We have another Chain Web, we have a Turtle, a Mantle, a Deny, another Omen, another Eutropia, or both Eutropias, and Thrix. So we're really trying to get to Thrix, ideally, but... Yeah, another... I think we definitely keep the Wardens for more flying protection. I'll go with the chat suggestion of bottoming Naiad and topping the Nexus Wardens. The loot's pretty good too, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weighing digging to our game closers versus accepting better than nothing is one of the tough calls of scrying, right? And I don't know. I don't have perfect answers for you. I go with my gut, and my gut produces over time a better than 50 win rate, but I don't know. Definitely holding land for the Kraken, though. Do we have attacks yet? If we send in 3, 4, and 5, they're going to trade Spawn off for Renata. And then the other 2 attacks are good. If we're willing to trade Renata for either Soul Reaper and Pegasus or Spawn, then I think we attack like this and it's fine. Then we have to be willing to trade Kraken for the Mogus or the Flyer, though. And we don't care if they do something to kill the Chain Web because we can get it back. And they're at 12. We also have, like, send in Oracle and Affliction. And if they want to spend their turn eating the Affliction with Spawn, that's great for us. So now I'm convincing myself to just keep, just swing more mightily here. And if they want to take the turn to eat the Acolyte, I think that's fine with us. Because then they don't really get the Renata without paying a huge price. Keeping Renata allows us to build up a more powerful force over time. But I'm going to do it. Again, this is me working on my brain and my gut and experience playing this game, but I'm not sure of this play. I'm not sure we're doing this at the right time. That kind of says you're definitely not, but I don't mind that we didn't play around that. It's hard to expect that coming exactly. Now, oh, okay, and that's not even, they didn't really do anything with those tokens, so we'll just keep it going. Now they're gonna pop their Spawn, and I guess we'll lose the Oracle. We're not gonna be winning off the Oracle anytime soon. We have no ways to get it back now. But it puts us in a spot where I guess we're back to just staring at each other and we're looking for our big flyer. Well, that's interesting. They even have enough to spawn again, though, so the mantle doesn't even do that much for us. I think we're in a spot where we want to be patient now, look for our big flyer and protect it with mantle. And potentially find more cards to put in hand to fade more aspects, although how many aspects can one deck run, really? I don't know. If they're running 3, that's awfully surprising. 20 to 16 on deck health. We do need to win on damage. I don't think we're going to win on decking, so we got to dig for the 4/5 flyer. But Mantle saving something, yeah, like... we can't let that happen or else they exile one of our best defenders here, so we're going to go ahead and mantle it. yeah, we get to loot away this forest. Okay, I looted away that forest instead. Yeah, we now bounce with the spawn, which is nice. So if we can find that flyer and they don't find any more removal, it should be good. This counters enchantment-based removal, which Oppo is showing some of. We'll continue to hold this land, though, for looting purposes. Same deck, Tron. Welcome back. Bronze Sword. Really? We're at Bronze Sword territory. All right. No, we cut the red splash. I guess we get to trade and deny it away, and then it stops bugging us. Question is, what can we give up for that purpose? We could give up the spider, since we can get it back. So let's go spider for 5, and then acolyte for 6, 7. Maybe they found something here to make this bad, but like they've been top decking, so I keep calling them on actually having something in their one card in hand. Maybe they'll have something again, but I call. If it's an aspect, we have the deny for that at least. Means the spawn can come back, but all right, that's fantastic. We can just bring back the spider. We can deny the spawn. We just have to make sure we keep all that mana around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is not enough to spider and deny. So we're going to telegraph a bit here. I'm going to actually keep holding land. We are kind of in a spot where we're not really too spelling, and we're not going to need to, and the looting is more important to me. Definitely sending the Kraken here, though. It's got a good attack. Nice fodder draw for Oppo. Well, 8 next turn. I'm fully expecting them to spawn here, and I think we should find ourselves in a spot where we can Kraken twice more before the end of the game. So I hear what you're saying, Beard, but I'm gonna say no, because if they don't recast the spawn here, that's a kind of a fist pump moment. Or if they don't cast something that we want to deny, we ought to be pretty happy with that. And again, this is a bit telegraphed since we didn't cast our spider, but Oppo also in the mode of gotta play your spells, right? Oppo on some sort of effect for 2 mana, and none of their onboard effects activate for 2 mana. Oh, flicker. Okay, well, doesn't actually stop that. They just had a flicker, but didn't save their spell. I'll play a land now, though. 2 lands ought to be plenty to get value out of our Kraken, and they still don't have 4 power or 5 power to kill the Kraken, so we can still attack. No sense attacking with the Wardens, they can bounce the Soul Reaper. Pro, they got some protection to throw around now. But it's still not enough to bring down a 5 power creature. Now, with a sword, that changes things. 5 toughness is what I meant to say anyway. Alright, we'd like to just get our flyer. This is going to make some flyers, we hope. What do we got for triggers left? How many enchantments? We got Naiad of Hidden Coves, Omen of the Hunt, and Thrix. So actually that's good to know. We only have 1 more Eutropia trigger. We're really just relying on our flyer at this point. We could... No, we cut the red. Cut the red. If we send in Kraken and Spider here, that's fine, I think. Yeah, I'm going to send in Kraken and Spider, and we'll trade with whatever. And then we can bring back the Spider again as needed. And if we lose the Kraken, it's actually not activating much the rest of this game anyway. And could even offer him again, you know, block what you want. Yeah, Naiad's on the bottom. No, we shuffled it. Didn't we shuffle? I think we cast an Omen since then. Oh, no, we haven't. Okay. I guess, we discarded an Omen, maybe? Anyway. At 12, I like everything. If they want to use the Soul Reaper to eat the Affliction, that's good for us. So, let them have it. Or if they want to eat anything at the cost of the bounty, that's also fine. I just think we keep swinging here. We discarded Omen of the Dead to an opponent's effect. Now we can play lands as well. We don't have any looting to speak of. Maybe the worst draw on our deck at this point in time. Although we can send in everything again. They may just eat the Eutropia. Okay, or they can give up. That works too. We got there, fam. Nice. Love it, making it to the old 5 wins. And this event is going on long enough that I need a little bio break. I'm going to refresh my beverage, hit the bathroom, and then we will come back and play our next 1 or 2 games. All right? Hang in there. I'll be back in like a minute. Be right back. Hey everybody, thank you for waiting while I Took care of some off-air business. Now let's chase 7. Yeah, we can keep that. Ooh, Hateful could be rough. We don't have much to interact with it. We have some. We've seen our scant removal in here. Well, Grove Dancer could come down now, but it doesn't trigger Eutropia. If we wait, it can become a 3/3 if we cast it later, in a way that Thassa's Oracle cannot. But we can't cast Thassa's Oracle, so the question is, do we cast it? And the answer is yes. I think it's fancy play syndrome to try to wait for Eutropia value. We don't even know if Eutropia is going to survive. And as sad as it is to give them the value here, I'm taking this trade. We're not going to just let them draw more cards off of this. Let's just make the trade and get on with our lives. Eutropia into Naiad becomes a little nicer. If we find a blue source, we can even leave up... Oh, no, we can't. It would only leave up 1. Never mind. I guess we kind of need to make this big. We're facing black-green. We're going to face big stuff on the ground. I don't know if we're going to be able to race here. We could even block with Eutropia since we have another, but they're black. They might have removal. I'm going to go for the Naiad and stay on D. Get one more aura, we can have a 4/5 that blocks pretty well. I mean, what do you think? We could just block with Eutropia. We have a second. But I'm going to say no. We'll take the 4, and maybe we can start racing from here. If so, though, I should have just put the counter on Eutropia. Well, there you go. Works out. We got to get... Oh, and this is nice, too. It works out on a couple levels. We even get to Thirst. Before we have to discard. Now, if we Thirst a bunch of stuff that Elspeth's Nightmare can get, it doesn't help all that much, but... Since we didn't find an aura we didn't find an enchantment to get this to the where it can block the 4/1. If we're not blocking, we're attacking, so I'm going to attack. I'm not going to block with the Naiad yet. And then we Thirst. Well, pretty easy. I also don't want to block here because we're about to lose our graveyard. And we do have graveyard recursion, so let's let this be the only casualty to our graveyard. At some point, though, I guess we'll play Oracle and be able to block Chimera next turn. So that's the other reason I'll take it. We have we will discard. Or we will play the Oracle, so we at least have a trade on the Chimera. How about an Arachneer off the top? No Arachneer for us, but some protection for our good stuff. That's not the worst. And maybe we'll find one. Let's find an Arachneer. Where's the rest go? Bottom and random. Okay, so we'll eventually shuffle that stuff back. Enchantment removal gives us a Eutropia activation, but this removal gives us exile. So we probably just want the exile removal against this opponent. That's true. Mantle could potentially leap something up. We can think about that. Maybe Mantle to eat the Euphemia and then exile the Chimera? We can block the Chimera with the Oracle, and then maybe they even they bring the Chimera back. Yeah, we're thinking about that. That was the idea. Mantle to ambush Euphemia. Then the question is, do we want to take 4, knowing that we're going to exile this, or do we? I guess we take 4 because we want to exile it, and they don't have the turn to get it back right now. So we're going to take another 4 from that thing. But we can absolutely ambush, and we'll do it with the Oracle. Then no, let's do it with the Naiad, and just keep making this Naiad big. Let's make big Naiads. I like having one biggin out here on this board. Wanderer felt subtly important to our 7-win day yesterday. Maybe not so subtly. We just seemed to get this on 2 all the time, and we were playing lands every turn for the rest of the game. It felt very good. We're at 8, they're at 19. We're going to exile their Chimera. We can do that at instant speed even, and they're green-black, so I don't think they can do anything to save it at instant speed if we do that. So I like sending in the Naiad, and if they want to come back the other way, we have block. Oh, that's true. They can sack. So, well, we can do that. We can. I guess we don't wait then. Good point. Good point. We want to exile, not sack. Thank you. Smart chat. Dumb streamer. But anyway, thinking about whether we attack with this. Now I don't even have time. So, well, we know we're going to do this turn. We're going to do this now. So let's do this. Do we want to send... Okay, we're going to graveyard that. Do we want to send... I have 8 life. I'm going to say no. If we attack with the Naiad, they have reasonable attacks back that I didn't want to face at 8 life. A little timid, though. We'd basically take 2, because they could attack with Mogus and 2/2, and we'd bounce... Like, basically we have to choose if we want to trade off something. Or we take 2 and bounce off the 2/3. Yuck. Well, all right, give us our spider then. Well, we have top decked another flash aura, a flash enchantment. Maybe they will again send Euphemia into its demise. I think with a 5/6, I'm now going to start diversifying my my beef, and I guess in that vein we'll make Eutropia a little bigger. Might as well protect her. Yeah, Oracle or Eutropia was my thought. We got a scry before we draw, so that's nice, but gotta find, really looking for like our big flyer ourselves to be able to win this race. They're gonna start making some pretty beastly stuff that we're gonna have a hard time dealing with at 8 life unless we can somehow find our flyer quickly and race in the air. And that big stuff is now gonna be even bigger. So I'm not liking our chances here really, but if we find our big flyer right now, then I think we have a chance. But we're gonna get out raced pretty badly here. Without some nice help coming up. Intervention, you say? That could help. Might have to counter something, though, but we could also... Well, we'll pass. At 8 life, we have to stay back on D with the 5/6, but now we can either choose to counter their huge thing or go searching for our win con. They're at 13, so maybe we can claw our way towards decking them, but I just feel like we're going to be facing such hugeness to try and get there. Wanderer has drawn them a lot of cards this game. Bleeper. All right, so they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't kill Naiad. Right, did I do my counting right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody with me? 5 loyalty. So if we let this go, they get Eutropia or Oracle, but not our big defensive creature. However, at 8 life, even getting rid of Eutropia may be enough. Such that we have to counter this, I think. Blah. I wanted to go digging for cards, but their board is now too wide to let this happen, especially since, yeah, board is too wide. I picked an arbitrary amount. They're tapped out, and I have no other cards even to pretend to have, so... Hey! Acolyte, welcome. Welcome, friend. Let's see what we're even getting. I don't even know, but we're certainly playing it. No, we didn't have much because of the graveyard loss. Nyxborn for another way to get us to the end of the game, I guess. Nyxborn Seaguard is a 2/5, a little better than the 0/5, and we don't need the Omen, so yeah. Can't cast this till next turn, but we can survive till then, right? Maybe, he says, challenging the magic gods. Yeah, Porto, you hear me, right? Well, that's a start. I guess they have Lampad. They could beat us from here. And the aggressiveness of their attack suggests maybe they do. We could be up against a Lampad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're not straight up dead here. But this looks like good blocks. Need something else real nice here. I don't see how we survive here. I'm not even going to put mostly dead because I think we're just dead. I can't think of a saving pull here. But technically, I was right that we were not going to die this turn. Totally didn't die this turn. Oh, funny. It's like we get a little bit of extra life. It's not going to be enough, but here you go. 3, right? So we get their 3 biggest, which is 7, 7, 2, 3, 2, 3, and they still have 5 left. So I'm going to give Oppo credit for figuring out attack all against our empty hand, scoop it up, but be pretty happy. This was a good result, and how do I feel like I played today? Medium for me. I think I have better days, have worse days. Chat bailed me out of some tough spots that I didn't see myself, so I give chat some credit today for coming up with good lines that I didn't see. And, well, we got 650 gems out of it and a couple packs. We can open 10 here. All right. Yeah, I think we ended up in the best deck. I don't think the red splash was quite worth it. I think what we learned about a Crowan War is that it is a very powerful card, but it does need help. I think if you just throw it in any deck and you don't really, what I was saying earlier is like we needed the war did not give us the ability to make good use of Chapter 2. And really, you know, yeah, make good use of Chapter 2 where you're looking to have big defenders and just eat a bunch of incoming attackers. And we just never did that successfully. So it didn't feel like the right way to do it. It doesn't really matter, Porto. We're going to get to our 4x of rares, and we may or may not get to our 4x of mythics. But I wait because I like clicking one button to open 10 packs. That's really all it is for me. Other than that, I do recommend you just open your packs. But here's the thing, Porto. I'm a grinder, but I'm a grinder in service of achieving the magic play that I want to achieve, and we've done it. I have more Magic Arena than I want, and I don't pay for it. So at that point, my motivations shift out of economy and grind-based motivations and back towards win percentage-based motivations, because I already have all the resources I need to do anything I want on this system. And I do like to mention it, though. Like, sure, and also as a grinder without 28 gems, sure, just open everything as you go. And that's what I try to do, is give context of what people who aren't in my my gem security situation should be doing. Yeah. I just don't think the value's not that huge. Like, it doesn't matter too much. But yes, if you want to optimize every last gem and coin, come in and open your packs as you go. There's also some people who have some convoluted ways to hoard packs in order to maximize. While I've gone over that before around here, and I just don't recommend it. I think most of the people who are doing that are trying to complete their constructed, but it doesn't make sense to me that if you are a heavy constructed player on the format that you would hoard packs. Like, I just think even if you could prove to me or show me how hoarding packs gets a little extra value here, there, or the other thing, it doesn't make up for the fact that you're just delaying the gratification of all those packs that have all those cards in them. So that's my thought. Okay. I'm going to say thank you to our YouTube friends for hanging out today. That was a fun one. I'm happy with 5 wins and the good games we got in, and I thank you for hanging out. We'll catch you tomorrow.